They'll never be.
So there's your history lesson on there's your history. Fuck me. There's your history lesson on gnomes.
Why are we still in the Soratis Bay when we could be by Virona now?
If you'd like to move your things, right?
I'm moving my thing now.
I'll move all the things. Some people might be moving a lot. Amari!
Amari's not waiting. He's already going.
His ass
I guess I better.
He's really Jesus now. He's got water walk his ass.
Oh, look at Lua! Holy shit!
What do you mean there's a wall?
Nick, your horse went, dude.
Dude, he can walk on water now.
Lua has water walk. Let's go.
I tried to move my token and it said there's a wall there, and I'm like, what do you mean there's a wall in the middle of the ocean?
Oh my god. Holy shit.
I like that we're all ominously surrounding Virona.
One thing did break. Give me 2 seconds.
We're all a half hour
There we
early to D&D, and then we started 10 minutes late. Remember that?
Was that today? Yes, sir.
No, we were supposed to start at 11.
Yeah, when we were 30 minutes early and...
Well, yeah, but William didn't want us to start 50 minutes early because he's a selfish dick.
No, I'm fine starting at 11, even though we were all a half hour early. But now it's 10 minutes after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is why I really wanted to like get everything out of the way early so we didn't have to have this conversation about how we were wasting time. And we could have had the conversation about wasting time earlier, but we didn't. So the last thing I'm going to do is promise I'm going to try and do... What kind of funny animation should I do on the Walker avatar this session? Since to time this session, since I'm still in the process of editing the last fucking session, and I didn't do it.
Give him a big giant penis.
I don't think YouTube would
No,
like that
you would
too
get
much.
demonetized on YouTube.
It's not like I have it monetized, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. YouTube would be mad. I can draw devil horns on him.
All right, that's good enough.
I'll give him like angry eyebrows and devil horns and like the end of a tail. I'll turn him into a tiefling. William would like that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Tiefling Walker. There we go. We're good. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna just right here. There's just a. I'm gonna go ahead and sound effect it here, so I don't have to add the sound effect in post.
Make him look like he's smoking a fat joint.
All right, there we go. There's the sound effects of me animating Tiefling Walker smoking a fat joint. I don't know why Alex added that in, but there you go.
Because I fucking opened Rom's backstory and fucking dancing Snoop Dogg was there.
I forgot you were okay with me just spamming that all over your backstory at one point.
No, it's only in one place.
I deleted the rest of them, but they were still there at one point. Oh. Hey, do you guys remember this?
No.
I forgot that we do D&D. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's been almost 2 weeks. I don't know what the fuck D&D is anymore. Oh, that was loud. Holy shit, that's the loudest clap I've ever... Let me try it again. Ow, that one hurt. One more.
Why are
Previously,
you beating...
in the land of D&D. After getting your affairs in order and finding a way out of the country, you all had some time, so you went your separate ways, and eventually, after dealing with many personal things and finding old friends, letting people know what's happening, warning people about the possible goings-ons of the country and the various dangers that may be befalling the country in the coming years, you eventually all met back up at Tybuck Rest, and eventually, from there, made your way down to Dunrock. Here, after some fancy finagling, questioning, and in general investigation, you ended up back at the Sefshine Crim War Camp, where you came across the leader of the Red Band, Adjudicator Arden Disparis, who personally went through the records and found where Miles, the oft talked about but never really around ally of Owen's that has been missing for quite some time was. The answer being he was last known to be taken to the Balaton Keep, the fortress inside of Virona that is also the headquarters of the Intellier Brigade. So, you guys got ready, got your things together back in Dunrock, you all met up, and had one final stop, one last thing to do, before eventually making your way to the meeting spot north of the Styrus Forest to escape the country. But for now, I will ask unto you all, Amari, Evian, Ishri, Owen, Rom, and Simon, as you walk down the cobblestone, well-kept, well-lit path through the heart of the Heartlands on the way to the western coast of Leanor, away to Virona. The Path of the Sun, as it is known. Not but a few hours away from Virona. I will ask unto you all, what are you guys doing?
I thought the plan was to go to Dunrock first to get the bounty on Miles set up.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was assuming that you guys did that, set it up, took care of it.
Thank you.
Glossing over a few quick things just to get you guys moving along, because that session could not have went any longer if I tried to drag it out longer.
So we've got like the appropriate documents.
You have the appropriate documents. If there were any more sendings that you needed to do, you probably would have had, during your time, at least long enough to get at least one long rest in, Owen. So you would have at least had time to do a couple more sendings. So if you'd like to retroactively knock those out real quick.
Sure. So Owen has to talk to, or he would like to talk to Marquez again. Did you want me to go through it in character? Or?
Sure.
So whenever he would have the time, this is before, or like on the way to Dunrock, or?
Yeah, you would have had time on the way to Dunrock or during the initial days in Dunrock before you headed out to the war camp.
Okay, so he would, he'd find somewhere quiet, just like he usually does, and he would cast the spell. He would focus on Marquez, and then he would say, "Can you tell me anything about who or what will be waiting for us at the rendezvous? There'll be room for horses."
Anything else?
There's more questions, but I didn't know if you wanted to.
I was just wondering if there's anything else on that one.
No.
All right. There's a contemplative moment and then a response of, there should be no problem with at least a few extra people if you're, okay with working on the ship. They will need the help during the time. And horses are fine. At least a few. Probably not. And around then it cuts off, but you would get the gist that, he's saying, take some, that's fine. Don't bring a stampede with you.
Okay, that's good news. And then follow-up question. He focuses on Marquez again. Do you know where we'll be landing Garland?
I do not. I do not know what these ships' plans are. I would wager, somewhere, on the west. Akrmoda or maybe the Garmod Strait. And that's all.
That's all I got. Owen would share this information with his companions.
I think at that time, Ishu would ask, so we are for sure going to Garland. Just so I'm ready, what is Garland like? Have all of you been before? What's it like?
Huh. Well, it's been a while, but back where I'm from, just across the Gulf here, the bay, call that land. Well, at least we call the people there Kintaran, my people. How to explain? It's like people are a lot like Evian, you know. Most of them are big, strong lads and lasses. Not afraid to throw a punch here or there. You know, whether it's fun or for something that's not fun. Usually it's fun. We sing songs. We celebrate our freedom and each other. There's none of this fear that undercuts everything in Leanor. If you have magic in Garland, as long as you're being responsible, you're not going to be persecuted or rounded up. We Gars pride ourselves on helping one another. Most of us, anyway.
That does sound really nice. I'm very excited. I just want to do that before the rest.
I've not been to the Isles myself. Fierce warriors, though.
It does sound mighty nice compared to here.
Well, I doubt it's like that now. Maybe in faraway places like Kinmore. But as far as I understand it, my home is occupied by the Red Band. Survivors have fallen back to Nashdween. Don't imagine it's a lot of song and dance or merrymaking at all. Maybe.
I mean, we're headed there, right? Maybe we can bring them. It does sound very nice.
Right now, almost anywhere is better than here.
Yeah.
can talk about it. You know, I can tell Mari and Rom and Walker. I can tell them about it because they were at the festival at Dunrock. It's hard to explain, Ishri. It's Garland is it's like Leanor, but with less fear, less lies.
I will take any chance I can to learn more about anything. So I'm very excited. Even if it is overrun by this terrible war. It really is as wonderful as you say.
So anyway, guys, discuss the difference in cultures as you head through the various, you know, whatever it was you were doing at this point during and after the sendings, presumably in Dunrock, or getting ready to conclude your investigations and head to the war camp. We would jump back into present time, and we're going to take a quick non-break here, just to figure out why Hannah's microphone is cutting out. Alright, there we go. That took literally half a second. Don't even need to do the intercut. So, as you guys walk the path of the sun, treat it as almost something of a baptism for many of the religious folk in the country. Those who follow Solara see it as a way to cleanse yourself of your personal sins. So, obviously, those in power would not see it that way and would still have no problem arresting you for just about anything. The most religious amongst you, not amongst you, but the royal you, would see it as a respectful journey. There are many Antellier that patrol this road, pretty much day and night. And is there anything before you guys arrive at Virona? If there's anything you wish to discuss on the road, you've got at least a couple of hours.
I have one thing.
I have a question as well, but you spoke first, Alex, so go ahead.
Ron was going to ask Uncle Rick what exactly happened between him and her dad, since last I heard he might be in Virona, and what if we run into him, etc.
So he just kind of gives you this look and just shakes his head a bit, and you know, things kind of happen. That brotherly love, and he definitely looks like he doesn't really want to talk about it. You know,
He's her mom's brother, not her dad's brother.
it was a facetious brotherly love.
Okay.
It was definitely joking.
Well, if you don't want to talk about it, I guess I understand, but
I mean,
you
it
might
was
be
nothing.
running into him.
He kind of just shakes his head. Verona's a big city. I don't think we'll have any trouble wading in.
I suppose.
As long as we don't end up rubbing elbows with the rich and famous here, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Well, if we're gonna be throwing around all this money,
He kind of scratches the back of his head. Look, that's just it. There was no big thing. I got back and, you know, went through the ritual and home. He was kind of shrugs a bit. Everyone was drinking. I was drinking. And, well, one thing led to another. Well, I'm gonna need a lot more alcohol in my system if we're gonna have this conversation. So I'll tell you
anytime
what.
you're ready.
Yeah, tell you what. First round at, he kind of thinks for the quickest of moments and just first round at, he looks over all of you and, like, you can see him just kind of considering, almost. First round at the Dancing Hound is on me. How about that? Been a long journey. We can all relax tonight. Figure things.
Before we get to that, we should probably get lodgings. I was thinking we probably shouldn't stay at any of the major inns, given the circumstance some of us face. I was thinking we could find a house to rent for a week or two, however long we're here. That we have a place to store things without anyone wondering why or what we're doing.
He considers for a moment and kind of scratches his chin, and that's not a half bad idea. I could tell you what. We'll grab a night at the Dancing Hound, and then we'll tomorrow I'll ask around, see if I can find anybody. I haven't been here a while, but I know a few people, and we can see. I mean, I end up probably end up out in the Warrens, but he's gonna be asking questions out there.
We have much to do here, aside from personal business. There's a lot of preparation to be done.
Rick nods in agreement. Hope everything gets done on time, I think. You guys continue?
We'll do our best. Yep, sure.
We all will. I hope. Certainly hope. Holy shit. After 39 sessions, you guys have finally reached Virona.
Hold on there, buddy.
Around.
I had a couple questions.
What you got, Nick?
I'm pretty sure I have forgotten my first question, but Alex made me think of another question. During our travels post Typic Rest, what has Uncle Rick's attitude been towards Owen? Keeping in mind the fact that Owen has made zero attempts to explain himself or offer any kind of justification.
Has Owen spoken to Uncle Rick at all?
No. But like, does he like avoid Owen? Does he?
He doesn't avoid him. He keeps his upbeat, chipper attitude. He still goes out of his way to, offer everyone ale whenever there's time, especially at night when you're resting at camp. But he's not really either going out of his way to try and mend bridges or anything.
That's fine.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's
Who?
that's the short and long of it. He's being nice, but he's not trying to bend over backwards for Owen. Best way I think I could describe it is giving him space.
Doth that satisfy your query?
Indeed it does, my good sir.
What the
You-
fuck? That was weird from both of you. I didn't like it.
I mean, yes and, man. What do you want from me, dude?
Listen, we brought a weird energy they weren't prepared for. Let's move on before they, I guess, have a seizure or something. Anyway, who has the Miles poster? Is it the literal, actual career bounty hunter, the girl who has a writ explicitly for bounty hunting, or Owen?
Follow-up question. Is there a drawing, and if so, who did it, and how good is it?
That's
You
up
did
to you
volunteer
guys.
Owen to
All of
making
those
the
questions
drawing.
are up to you guys.
You
Oh, no,
volunteered-
wait, I think I said Owen would do it, right?
You did
Isn't
that,
that,
you did say
I
that.
did say that, okay.
Yeah.
So here's a... Oh, shit. Is it inappropriate to post his actual character art? Do I need to make a roll
run
to
it
see
through,
how good
black and
Owen's
white.
drawing of Miles is?
I'm not gonna make you make a roll. I keep it within reason of how you think Owen would do.
Crop the head and shoulders and
Yeah,
then put
yeah,
it through a
okay.
filter to make it black and white.
Wait, I can't. I can't
Let
do
me
that.
go right through the Photoshop graphite filter real quick.
I could do it for you.
Oh, fuck. And so, man,
I
I'm
don't
really
think
upset
it's a
now
big
because the
deal.
character art of him, he's wearing a helmet, but Owen wouldn't draw him with a helmet. Damn it.
Maybe Owen's getting creative with it.
Okay, no, hold on. I can do this. I am an amateur writer. I can do this. The drawing that Owen produces is that of a young man in his late teens, maybe early 20s. He is clean shaven. He's clean shaven, not in that he has recently shaved, but in that he's got the full baby face going on. He's got an incredible jawline, a full kind of jowl thing going on with a very prominent double chin. He has an expression on his face of kind of intense determination, as if he is unwilling to unfocus on whatever it is he's looking at in the drawing. The set of his shoulders mirrors his expression. They are squared, and it looks like he's ready for a fight. His hair is kind of I guess it's black and white, so it's ruffled, as if it hasn't been upkept recently. That's about all I got.
I really want to see the art. I need to see the art.
I think I did a better job describing.
Yeah,
than-
no,
than
this
the
is why
art.
I don't use picture help often.
I
Because descriptions are
love
better.
the description.
Fuck, I need to go. I need to listen back to this and write that down.
He doesn't.
I got it.
He doesn't want to post the art now because the art's gonna undo that. Because
Yeah.
yeah.
You're welcome. Your mom.
So
Put it through 8 filters so that it's so blurry that no one knows what it's actually supposed to
yeah,
look
let me
like.
just throw it through a fucking 10-pixel Gaussian blur and then do a drawing, and it's just like Owen produces it, and he's like, "Oh shit, I guess I left it in my pocket when I was washing my clothes the other day."
So, how much is the bounty for? I imagine Owen put up the coin for it?
Yeah. Well, okay. That
Like
that
25?
depends on how much.
Well, that would be up to you.
Hannah's just our fucking stenographer now,
That's fine.
which is fine because in my head I don't think she types that fast.
She's a scientist. She has to type before things explode.
That's how it works.
That's how that works. I know
Yeah,
that,
sir, I
right?
thought that was hackers.
Down in 3, 2, 1.
Wait, wasn't that just the story of Die Hard 4? Type
What's a
into
Die Hard?
type so things don't explode?
Alright, how much does Owen put up for the bounty?
So how does that process work? Do I like pay the Antellier?
No, you just put it up and like essentially they spend a few minutes questioning you and doing the whole like, all right, fucking like making sure it's legit. You're known around. They will have trusted you already in Dunrock, so.
Okay, actually, now I have another follow-up question.
These have been great
I'm
questions to
dude,
ask in the last week and a half.
I literally thought of it because I didn't know that we were. I guess I should have known that we
Skipping
were going
that
to be
scene.
going to the Antelli, right?
I mean, I did say that we were going to be starting up with you guys on the road to Virona.
I don't remember you saying that ever, Vin.
Fuck. Notes help me. What's her name?
Holly.
No. I know
Hollis.
her name. Marin. Is Marin there?
Oh shit.
Let me pull up the Dunrock notes. I didn't think I'd
She's
need this.
she's the one who was trying to be helpful, but people
Yes,
turned
that is
against her.
Cade's daughter, Officer Willoughby. Okay, she would have been, yeah.
So if when they get to the Antelli, Owen is visibly uneasy, and when he sees her, he kind of meets her gaze for a second and then looks away. He doesn't look like either he doesn't know what to say to Marin, or he doesn't want to say anything to her. But he does answer. If there's another officer of the Antelli there, he does answer the questions to the best of his ability.
Yeah, there are a few. They look like they were probably reinforced a bit with extra staff from all over the Southcast Plains, purely after what happened. But so you would go through. Obviously, given that again he's known Dunrock. They don't require the money to be paid out. They want enough info to know that you're not like lying, and they just it's essentially an interview for people they don't trust. They trust you, so there wouldn't have been any issues. So however you wanted to do the bounty would have been fine for cost, for however you wanted to have it written out, name, anything that you wanted to put on it.
If Owen would have asked Walker how much he should have put as the bounty, he would recommend 25 crosses.
25 it is.
So now we'll jump back into the present again.
So Owen, to answer your original question, Owen
Wait,
has
what
the
was my
poster.
original question?
Mine!
It was
Oh,
Glenn's.
his original.
Owen has the poster.
Okay. Oh, I imagine that, like, you guys are walking, and just every time something happens, there's a flashback scene. Like, Owen goes to pull out the thing. There's a flashback scene to why he has it. Rob's talking to fucking, or her dad. There's just a random flashback scene to fucking Dunrock. Like, just all these random things. Her dad, fucking Rick, her uncle. Anyway, so yeah. As you guys, I'm getting into it. Here we go. I'm off my mojo, but we're getting back into it. As you guys approach the massive walls of Virona, you see ahead of you, and you hear the... I knew I had horseback sound effect on somewhere.
Who's on the horses?
Owen.
He's on all 3 horses.
Yes.
Owen and all of your stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
checks out.
that's more or less.
Owen sits on it sideways like a model.
If nobody else is riding, then Owen will he will be content to lead the left.
Quick question before we enter. Can I just say one thing as Simon real quick? As we're probably
Is this a
walking up.
flashback or is this in the present?
This is like, oh my god! It's in the present. We're walking up to like up to the thing. What do we do if they ask to check our belongings? What's the plan?
Is Virona a walled city?
It is. Massive
Oh.
wall. It is massive wall.
Are the walls patrolled?
They are full-on ramparts. They are, in some places, 15, 20 feet high. In other places, 40 or 50.
So I was gonna say, if they're not patrolled, then Rom could just fly some shit over. But
She's
Are
still
you-
could
Dude, you can
just
cast
be
fly
really
on the
confused.
horses, and then
Oh, God.
Then you just need to explain the concept of flight to a horse and hope they get it.
Are you
And that's how Atlee
things-
evaded UFOs.
Are your things properly secured?
Yes, but what if they go through everyone's bags?
Is that something they do?
It depends on how tight security is.
Is that
It is
something
the
they do?
capital.
Amari would
Or,
know. He's been in and out of the city a lot.
Starshore, they did use some sort of magic to see if there was anything magical.
Aye, but
We
they
all
didn't
know how
go
that
through
works.
our packs.
It could have been that they were more interested in the... Well, you know. Anyway, just make sure everything's stowed properly. I'll walk through first. That way you'll know what they
Alright.
do or don't.
Fucking everyone with a magic item books it after King Walker gets there.
The implication was that you don't follow immediately behind that. You're like a distance.
I'd like to imagine they were just in line. We just fucking booked it.
After I go through, we're like, all right, bye, we're good.
Just kidding.
Even could also be with Walker at that point.
Evian has a magic thing.
Does he?
Yep.
Am I fucking retarded?
You don't know about it. It's okay.
Is it, yeah, it's secret.
Oh yeah,
have a
that.
level.
Yep.
That thing
Did he
nobody
have
knows
it?
about.
Does he have it stowed properly?
Yep. Oh, baby.
Seven makes sure.
Right up his cheeks.
Yeah, it's in my prison wallet.
Oh, Jesus.
And one of the pieces of cloth, of course.
Mitch!
Impressive.
Mitchell, I mean, Jesus.
What?
Impressive.
It's not that big. Like, it's not... It would fit.
It's a fucking lead lined
I
blanket.
think what Mitchell's trying to say is that Evian's had worse.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh,
This whole picture with Owen, he's probably had worse.
Evian's got a
oh,
Listen, a
Nonsense.
gentleman does not kiss and tell.
The implication that Owen has kissed Ian's asshole.
please don't
All
say
right.
these things.
Anyway, let's
How
play
much?
Well, I mean, he did eat his
How
cheddar.
much are we willing to crowdfund from our group to pay Nicole to draw Evian kissing Owen's asshole?
I thought it was the other way around.
No, it's the
I
other.
don't
That's
think-
the other way around.
How much is
fucking
Nicole
idiot.
gonna pay us to get
I
the
bet-
privilege to draw it?
Oh, you
shit.
fucking idiot.
Oh.
The other butt. Evian
Wait,
and
Evian
Owen's
has
butts
another
kissing
butt?
each other.
Oh, it's just Evian and Owen sitting next to each other kissing their own assholes.
And the joke is dead, folks. Let's move on.
Alright.
I had tried moving on already.
My god.
It pulled me back in.
Ishu would inform you that she has no magic items. Just say it so she go with you.
Good issue.
Alright.
Is then it's like super known. Like Owen, as long as he wears the amulet, he's a-okay, right?
Yeah.
Amari's fine.
And-
Would Amari know how strict they are, having been in and out of the city many times?
In regards to like what? How they're gonna search you?
Searching, yeah, if they search, how well they search.
Over the course of the time you were here, as the war continued to ramp up, they definitely got more strict. You
Whatever
didn't go
the
in
point
and out a
is,
lot, and for the most part, when you did, it was like as part of an approved group, so it was like cursory, but from what you saw, they're very much into, you know, profiling. This person looks strange. Let's go fucking strip search them and make sure they're not carrying anything.
Maybe you should have Ishri go by herself and not with the rest of y'all. Just saying. She
They're
looks
not gonna
kinda weird.
profile Ishri. They're gonna profile the fucking
They're gonna
guard.
profile the person who looks fucking like an alien. Walker would recommend that Owen not say anything as we walk through. If Amari makes that known.
Yeah, he would.
Owen scowls but does not say anything in response.
Pretty much, imagine medieval TSA, and you got a pretty good idea.
How garish does Owen look?
Well,
Have you fucking
as you've
his
seen
pic-
here, while he acts pretty garish on occasion, most of the time when people see him, they assume he's a Highlander.
Right.
Like, Highlanders, a lot of especially Kintaran descended from Highlanders during that time. And also
Which I think
a
is
similar
really
culture.
funny.
Anyway, as you guys approach, cresting over the last hill, you see before you the massive, unending city of Virona. Around it, you're in what is now known as the Approach, the miles of farmland and shantytown-like communities that have built up around it. Small groups of farms and other villages out here that are just outside for people who either can't afford or choose not to live in the city, most likely can't afford. It is known as the Approach. It is very commonly patrolled, even more so. Like, there is a constant presence of Antelier throughout the miles around, every few hundred feet, constantly just watching, keeping an eye out. This is a city that is in constant need of very high levels of protection. Cresting over, it is not the city that is the first thing that takes your eye, but instead it is a Sun's Chosen brigade of some 800, maybe more men, training outside of it. So,
Is that
you approach. I'm sorry?
Is that normal?
Yes and no, in the sense that seeing the Sun's Chosen is normal. Seeing a tent set up, what is obviously a command tent and other tents is not. This is someone who's expecting, like, this looks similar to like a war camp set up right outside the city. There are men barking orders, training. You can see lots of one-on-one training, people going over things. This is, as you head up, you see a few of them having capes on. And at the top left of these capes, you see one stripe of silver going down diagonally to the right, and two stripes going down diagonally to the left, signifying this as the 7th Regiment of the Sun's Chosen. That would be an infantry regiment, as opposed to one of the many other types. And immediately, like, you can see, it's not just that they're training. It is not the Antelier that are at the gates of the city of Virona. It is the Sun's Chosen currently implementing law.
Kinda sus.
Just don't listen. Just don't look suspicious, and you'll be fine.
Listen, just be Leanor without any illicit items on you. Easy.
And we're going through, and then my brother sees me, and okay, cool.
Hey, at least we don't have to worry about my dad being here.
Ha ha ha.
For context, this would have leading a platoon like this is what your father would have done.
Okay.
What number was his?
Not anymore.
What number was his?
I don't know.
He would have led the... I believe... I would need to go back and check my other notes. I believe it was the 9th Regiment he led. Anyway, as you approach, you see a couple of Sun's Chosen hail you. All of these men are in plate armor.
Damn.
As in, like, they're wanting us to approach, or they're just...
Yes,
us?
a couple of them off the side of the road just hail to you as you head. You're probably still a 15-minute walk from Virona.
So yeah, it was a yes, please approach?
Yes, they were motioning, like, getting your attention, and a couple of them just, like, motioned to you. They're not wearing helmets. You can see they've got the chainmail coifs down around their neck, and holy shit, these guys have... Like, their hairs are just stringy, sweaty messes right now.
Ew.
They have been in plate mail all... It's, you know, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock. They've been in plate mail all day training and doing this. These guys look... And they don't look tired either. Like, these are well-trained soldiers.
Walker would approach when hailed.
And, you see as a couple of people, they don't even say anything. They just kind of, all of them very clean cut. Some of them have very short beards. None of them have scraggly beards. All of them, if they have long hair, it's tied in a ponytail. If they have short hair, it's very much brushed back from the sweat. Most of them have some modicum of battle scars, wounds, or bruises, even visible on their face. Some of them have... You would notice an inordinate amount having wounds on their necks, like right around like where your shoulder, between like the shoulder and about the chin. Lots of them have bruises that are just barely visible
on their neck.
You would know this to be. I'll allow a history check from Walker and.
Seven.
Walker, Evian, Simon, yeah.
Are they recognizable wounds? Like, do I know what might have caused them?
Bruise, right?
You would recognize it. So yes, through context, all of you. Walker, it takes a minute just like putting it together, but it is. What they are doing is, you can tell they have been doing training with, dulled training blades, where they are trained to go directly for the neck.
Jesus Christ.
And this is people, like, some of these bruises are weeks old and still red and purple. They are going, like, it's dulled blades, but this is still a swing that would knock out a grown man.
Damn.
But many of these people have bruises, many parts of their body, sometimes cuts, sometimes older wounds from seeing battle. But the armor is all pristine. Those of you who have upkept with armor or spent time in military can see where things have been repaired, but it is without a very discerning eye. It does not even look like they have been banged back into place or repaired or anything. They are in perfect order. The tabards are not tattered. They are perfectly hemmed. Appearances are as important to these people as talent, but they're lacking in neither.
Okay.
So, do they say things as we walk?
One of them, very, very short hair, maybe a man in his 40s, very clean cut, broken nose a couple of times, multiple bruises across both sides of his neck. He looks to you and just nods, and there has been an influx of people here in the capital, and if you have not been warned yet, then there will be interviews for people by groups. We are assisting the Antelia for the time being, while we train until we are dispatched.
Interviews.
To make sure that you are all... And he kind of looks and like... As he's kind of scanning you all, there's that moment of like, that's weird. This is a big group to not have like a wagon or something. And just immediately he kind of like, whoever will.
Now we're sus because we don't have a fucking wagon. All right.
I mean, fucking Rick is just like
Rick is
around a
wheelbarrowing it up.
Yeah.
Armaments.
But he pauses for a moment, and then who will have approached him first?
Walker.
He turns to you. What is your business here in Virona at the moment?
We're working a bounty. We seek information from the hang on, I need to look at my notes to find the name of the funny keep at Balaton Keep. We were told at the war camp someone we're looking for might be held there.
There's a slight nod. And have you been to Virona recently?
For a handful of years.
And do you have any contraband, any illegal substances, any illegal amongst your person, or any known anything that you need to warn us about? And he kind of looks back, kind of eyeing Rick's weapon wheelbarrow.
No.
Rick gives a thumbs up and a nod in the background as you're saying this. He kind of raises
What
an
a guy.
eyebrow. All right. You say you are hunting a bounty?
For information regarding one.
Large crew.
Yeah. Payouts are less that way, but it's safer.
He just gives a slight nod and, all right, may leave your horses, wagons, and any other belongings here while you are spoken to by, he motions to a large tent behind him. It is silver white with golden leafed accents. The curtains of the entrance are drawn shut right now, but occasionally you do see people coming and going.
Is he more or less referencing for everyone to go to the tent?
That is what he's referencing.
Oh,
Is he
boy.
also intending on us to disarm ourselves before we enter?
I can't do that unless I cut my arms off. Let's
Is
go.
there a
Give
table
me
to
an
put things
insight
on?
check, Owen. Unless you'd just like to ask him.
Maybe I'll ask him, depending on what I figure out myself.
Make sure you ask him with your
Oh,
accent.
big! Show me his thoughts!
Show me his thighs.
I do like thighs. Where is this fucking jazz coming from? What the fuck? Sorry.
Just shut the fuck up.
So you he doesn't seem off-put by you at all. They are very confident. Like, he has that demeanor about him of like, these are just travelers. Dangerous times. And like, he doesn't seem like he's very much interested in you disarming yourselves as much as leaving your belongings for a little while.
Okay, but, like, does he intend on me to leave my sword with my horse, as it is a belonging of mine?
No, the weapons they don't seem too interested in.
Okay.
Just leaving your belongings
Is
for a
there
little while
A
you head
table
for
for this search? Is there a table for the belongings, or?
No, he's saying just leave them. There's a few more men approaching at this point.
All right. Walker would take his bag off. His very heavy, piled-on bag, well-organized bag off. Hold it out.
One of the other Sun's Chosen soldiers comes over and takes it, and you see behind him by about 10 feet a Antelier uniform. It doesn't look like one of the traditional ones. You would recognize this as an Antelier agent, not a regular guardsman.
Like certain ones we've met.
Yes.
I was about to ask if we recognize them, and then I was like,
You do
oh,
not
wait.
recognize them.
Are you saying we don't recognize the dead and or captured, tortured man here?
No, you do not recognize them. It's a woman, maybe in her 40s. She's got short hair just long enough to get in a ponytail. And she just kind of... She's got... Not resting bitch face, but more of a resting cocky face. Like... She seems genuine, but at the same time, as she walks up, she's kind of like... Looks like she's looking down her nose at you with like a slight smirk.
Does it seem to Walker like they want him to disarm his, like, 5 weapons he has on him?
No.
Okay, good. Because he didn't want to.
And she stands about 10 feet away from the entrance to the tent. And then you see her eyes begin to glow silver.
Good thing we have our things in the
Clench.
way.
I was
boy.
gonna say
Don't be
that I
fooled,
would
Wrecker,
have
I think everyone would have checked
dismissed
it.
my sword since it like disappears
Yeah.
when it's 5 feet away from me for like a minute or more, I think.
I think you can also just do it as a bonus action. Get rid of it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can also
but-
just say goodbye.
Yeah.
But but I'm not gonna do that in front of a bunch of guys that would jump on me, you know?
Yeah. So you did it
I mean,
before. That's fine.
actually,
yeah.
I do have a
Beforehand.
bounty hunting writ. I guess this falls under that.
No,
Anyway,
that's fine.
Anyway, yeah, so...
doesn't matter.
We should talk about using the fucking writs for oddies and shit. Oh god, I guess someone who's charismatic should keep that in mind if something happens.
And so, as you each begin to walk by, leaving your things, your horses, Rick does not seem worried at all, by the way. He's acting like this is a very normal thing right now.
Of course.
Walker's got resting walker face.
He,
Yeah.
there is a moment where, like, he puts down the, he, like, you know, organizes the woman, like, puts it down very gingerly, and he, like, stands face to face with the Sun's Chosen, soldier, and I count a single damn caltrop in there missing when I'm done. I'm coming for your ass personally. But if it's not, I owe you a drink. Tonight. How about it? And he, like, slaps the guy on the back of his chest plate and walks away. Just kind of laughing a bit as he does towards the tent.
That's strange. Like, strange.
Believe it or not, Walker doesn't fuck around as he just goes towards the tent after giving them his bag. He would gesture for the rest to, like, follow suit.
Mari just
Yeah.
leaves his bag, putting it down
Praise.
gently.
Praise to every god who will listen.
So, leaving your bags, your horses, and your other various belongings, but not disarming of armor or immediate weaponry, you are all up. Simon,
Yeah, I'd like to
What
just
about
make
your
sure that my
books?
magic item's on top.
What then?
what about your books? Are you leaving them in your pack, or what?
He's got like 2 book straps.
Yeah, that's technically there's on my side, like whatever,
All right,
right?
no problem.
Would that be weird, Ben? Like, does Simon know if is that weird? Is
It'd
that
probably be weirder if you, like, actively went out of your way to-
Unstrap
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
fucking
Hold
books.
Come on, guys, give me a second.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta take my books off.
I mean, he could have stowed them
Armor's
on the way
expensive
up.
these days.
Also true, you could have put those in, like, your bag or whatever.
Yeah, if there's something else you have wanted to do, that's fine.
He won't bring the books.
The world's your oyster, bro. You do what you want.
I'm getting some fucking,
I don't like this.
what the fuck, Volcus. Volcus vibes.
Yeah.
So, you guys head into the tent where this tent is fucking huge. It is. There are multiple rooms to this tent. This thing is set up for long term. They are apparently expecting this to be here for quite a while, and you see, at first count, at least 16 Sun's Chosen soldiers in this tent.
Woo!
It is probably, I'd say, a little bit smaller in size than the ranch house that Rom grew up in. So this is a pretty damn big tent.
That is very big.
Yes, it's like as big as the biggest fucking circus tent you could ever imagine.
Jesus, okay.
It's
Okay,
not
but the-
permanent, but it is obviously
What
semi-permanent.
is the practical use of this?
Having a big fucking tent, dude.
Yeah, there are people moving
Alright.
throughout it. There are many that don't have armor. They seem to be in some...
Clerical workers.
You mean
yes.
easy kills?
Sure. They seem to be clerical workers or what have you. There are
Clerics.
a couple of people moving around with robes as well. You recognize them. You recognize at least one as wearing the robes of the Soul Striders, who moves into a side room in this tent and heads behind it. You head to the back of the main tent where you see a few people in line are headed out, and they motioned out a side door, and then you guys are motioned to approach. And
We do so.
And
Yep.
you see you see this gentleman with very short brown hair, maybe in his 40s, 50s. He's got this very strong jawline, no beard, clean cut, very much exemplifying everything that you've seen of the Sun's Chosen in one person. Very little in the way of wounds. Wearing the same armor, but again, no helmet. And whereas many have tabards and capes, he has a cape that also covers part of his left shoulder coming out of the pauldron. You recognize it as a captain's denominator, I believe. This being the captain of the regiment.
Walker nods politely to him. After all, these are the respected military of Leanor.
Yeah, these guys are much cooler than the red fox.
The red farts.
I said fox, but yeah, sure.
He looks about you all and... Hello, my name is Captain Jameson Raymar.
Jameson.
I'm the captain of this regiment here, and I've been personally doing a lot more work than I would otherwise like, since he motions around him. My mages have already approved you as not carrying any sort of arcane contraband. Do you have any writs of any kind that need to be known about or logged for your entry into the city? Yes.
A few of us.
I'll pull out my writ.
He looks it over and... Amari Stolt.
He gives a nod. I nodded in real life as if you could see me, but...
He nods back in real life as if you can see him.
Can I ask a quick question real quick?
Yep.
What did Simon have on his writ?
My writ was healing, utility, and oddities.
No, what name did you have on the writ?
I wrote it myself. I'm pretty sure they're blank, weren't they?
They put
No, Dakar was putting the names on them.
Yeah, they're not.
They would have
just
to have a name.
some random.
It should've been
You
Onyx,
just gave him
though.
Onyx? Just Onyx?
Yeah, I mean, that's what someone would have asked for.
Does Simon and Rom hand over their writs?
Yes.
I'm so nervous right now. Simon, I guess, hands it over as well.
He looks curiously to Rom. The rest of them do have your proper names. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
He looks curiously to Rom. Ramona Somsa. Yeah?
That's right.
Bounty hunting.
Mm-hmm.
He looks... I don't want to say curiously, but...
Skeptically?
Not even skeptically, but almost in surprise. Is something of a rarity to see. Arcane bounty hunters? The reason you've went into this trade instead of something a bit safer with your abilities.
Well, I never was one for a quiet life.
He nods and... So what, threat, says all magic in regards to, what would that include? What sort of arcane abilities? We will look, but I do not believe. He motions to one of his men who heads off into a nearby smaller, subdivision of this tent. What is it that you have the ability to do when you're hunting these bounties that's so effective that you are able to be approved of a writ for?
Womp womp.
And you can see he has opened up a journal, torn a piece of parchment out, and written at the top of it in this beautiful cursive handwriting, Ramona Samsa, and then underlined it. And he's got like a starting a list of things that you can do. He's gonna start writing out.
Rom describes her sword and armor thingies.
For me, can you say what sword thingy means?
Sword
a
like
sword and
her fucking pact of the blade sort of thing.
Yeah, so I met this demon.
Your ability
Not
to
that, I mean,
yeah.
the ability to
your ability to conjure a sword out of thin air.
yes, and put her armor on instantly. And let's see.
He looks vaguely like he cocks an eyebrow at that, and a demonstration, if you would. And he holds a hand up for his men
He
to
just
stand
wants to
down.
see Rom naked, dude.
No,
what
regarding
does
the
he
sword.
do?
Yeah.
What does he
He
do?
gestured for his men to stand back.
No,
Which I
stand
think
down.
Most of
like-
us would do so as well.
Rom conjures her sword.
What's that look like, buddy?
It coalesces from green mist.
Which also appears.
Yes.
He, as the green mist appears around it, and then the sword is in your hand, he begins waving a hand himself and kind of flicks it, and you just see this this waft of wind that pushes the mist away before it disappears. Interesting. May I? And he holds out his hand for your sword.
Sure. Why not?
And he begins examining it. He takes off his glove, and very quick, like his left-hand glove. You can see he had a glove on his left hand, chainmail, and all his right hand. He didn't, because he's been writing and he needs dexterity. But he takes off his other hand and he kind of like runs a hand down the end of it, and like you can see like blood like falling onto the sword as he does. Not really surprised at this, but a clean cut down his finger. He very quickly just rubs his thumb over it, and
What a fucking weirdo.
and the wound immediately heals, and he hands it back to you. Impressive. You see him very quickly scrawling, can conjure a very underscore fucking sharp sword from thin air.
Okay. And then I guess she also describes her cantrips.
Any flavor, or are you just describing them as straightforward as possible?
I can make a light. I can shoot a fucking finger beam. That's not how she would say it. But
Actually,
that's Amari.
I can finger blast like a motherfucker.
I can do a range spell. I can do a fire sword. I can do some magic around me.
He curiously considers for a second and then just nods again, and I suppose I see why you went into bounty hunt. He nods. Turns back to Amari. Anything specific we should note about you?
Similar things. Can't do the whole sword and armor thing, but just some defensive abilities and enhancements.
He begins writing down bullet pointing things you can do. One of the men that he sent off comes and whispers in his ear. Oh, haven't been to Virona in some time then. There's no documentation about you. At least mentioned here in, emotions to the side room in this tent that they went through.
Not for a little bit.
Or is this something you've been hiding for a while? Please, please, whether or not you have the writs now. There's no conviction or belief of guilt at this point. There's nothing that could be done to prove it either way. It is purely to satisfy my own morbid curiosity.
As far as I'm aware, I don't think any of us have been to Virona in some time.
Couple years for me.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. I left with my friend Sander to just get out of Virona after being in there for some time, but we just fucked around for a little bit. I ended up in Dunrock.
As you kind of go on, you can see he quickly loses interest in your story.
Yeah.
The more you talk, the more his attention turns to those of you he has not interacted with. Are there any more writs? Anything else that needs to be known? Any more arcane abilities? Anything else? Any business opportunities? What is your business here? The capital this day, anyway.
Bounty hunting.
Anything else, or is it just the hunt?
Just the hunt.
There's some stocking up we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Repairs.
That too.
He nods. He nods inquisitively for a moment, and then, well, I would hope that you're going to be very successful.
We might want to see.
Look, I do appreciate someone willing to do good for this country and hunt these bounties and deal with these ne'er-do-wells that exist within our border. How about something? And he motions for Amari to come forward, and he very quickly flips a couple pages in the journal and begins quickly scrawling something out, and tears it out a moment later and hands it to you.
I'll look at it.
It is folded in half, and then like you can see he folds it like in thirds, like a letter, and quickly stamps and seals it. Though you would note he does not do it with a stamp or wax. He does it with his hand, and the wax just kind of conjures. And he hands it to you. If you take this to the, you can get into the. He pauses for a moment. I feel like if you're going to be bounty hunting, you at least need a proper writ for it. I wouldn't wish to see you get into any untoward trouble with the very rigid rules of the Intellier while you're here in the city. You can take this to the Basking campus. They'll allow you in, and you can get your writ modified to add bounty hunting.
No problem, thank you. That's really helpful. Was wondering how we were gonna get that done, so thank you for helping. You said the Baskin campus?
The Basking campus.
We must go to the local Baskin Robbins and get
that is the center of the city. It is essentially a massive, incredibly well, like, think Central Park, but also it has all of the most important buildings in the country in it. It has the Library of Enlightenment. It has the Sun Jewel Cathedral. It is where everything is.
Like some Beijing Forbidden City kind of deal.
Yes. It is the center of the city.
Is the Balton Keep busy these days? I have to imagine it is.
I'm sorry, what was that?
As the Balton Keep busy these days? I have to imagine it is.
Busy enough that we're out here dealing with this and not the Intellier. Oh, if bounty hunting ever dries up, I'm sure there's room for bounty hunters amongst the Intellier.
Is there a wait to
get into the city?
There?
What was that?
I suppose that too. Is there a wait to speak with someone there?
He shrugs. I have been out here since early this morning.
Thanks anyway.
I would imagine there is, but that would depend on the time of day and what you need. And he doesn't give a overt shrug as much as he does just kind of like... he starts to shrug and then kind of like turns to everyone else. Is there anything else that needs to be known about your party here?
I don't believe so.
Stays quiet.
You have no goods that you need to be trading. I'm not to expect any sort of untoward behavior and find you all as some sort of insurgency. Like
No,
so many that
though
have
I
been
can
threatened.
understand. No, though I can understand with the wheelbarrow.
He kind of rolls his eyes.
Walker
That is
also
one of
rolls
the-
his eyes.
That is one of the less strange things I've seen. Honestly, we were expecting you to just be a group of smiths more than anything with that. As Mitchell assaults dishes?
No, sorry. I threw away a water bottle and
China.
I missed the trash can and it hit my collection of bottles because I'm an alcoholic.
Oh boy.
That was on recording.
Yep.
If I could ask my own question,
By all
what has
means.
been a strange thing you've seen?
He
If
considers for a
wheelbarrow
second.
full of weapons isn't.
I had a man with a severe head wound wander in about sunrise. This was some weeks back. Very severe head wound. He was wearing a skinned deer carcass and nothing else. When he wandered in and we had to tackle him, he was screaming about the end of the world and the coming of the end of days. That the sun would fall and all would die and wither.
I can see why you didn't look twice at a wheelbarrow.
That is something.
He kind of rolls his eyes. He was, one of our doctors, took a look at him, and we're to believe that it was a trauma head that had him so out of it.
A shame.
I did not ever know what came of him. That was some weeks back, like I said, but... certainly strange.
Walker nods.
Again, I thank you all, and assuming everything is good with your... We're not going to be bringing any contraband in or anything without paying import taxes, then you'll be good to go in just a few moments. You're not intent on selling any of your items at the forum?
Unless I can get a deal on some armor, no.
Selling, not buying, Amari.
Yeah, I know.
No, this is more of a business.
I was talking about trading my armor for better armor.
Oh, I understood. And no, this is more of a business sense of having people head to the forum and what have you. Gives a little smile. Good day. It was nice to meet you all, and thank you again for your service to this country.
Anytime.
Walker
Of
nods
course.
politely and makes to go. I'm assuming that's what he's implying. We're good to go.
Yeah, he motions you back out through the side exit.
Simon just turns. Deer caught in headlights.
Finger guns.
A couple moments later, you are of waiting, or you're essentially guided over where it's like, all right, wait here. It's baggage claim essentially. And a couple moments go by, and then you see as there are a few people from the Sun's Chosen that are currently bringing over your various things, carrying your backpacks. A couple of them guiding horses. You can see Luoth is being a predictable pain in the ass, and they're like, like pulling a little bit. And it's really funny because it's a guy who's like 6'5" and like 280 pounds in full plate mail armor that's sitting here like pulling Luoth. Luoth's kind of fighting. And like
when he sees this, Owen he puts his fingers to his lips and he whistles to Luoth.
Oh God.
Alright. You do so, and a moment later, like, Luoth kind of, like, stops trying to fight so much, and then kind of, like, walks towards you, but at an angle so that Luoth is still pulling away from this soldier.
What an absolute lad.
Eventually, you see this incredibly large, imposing figure just give up and let go of the horse and walk away.
Not his fault.
What do you mean it's not his... What
are we on about the uncle?
Yeah, Alex just tried to say it's not his fault he's an asshole. Literally it is. What?
Is Walker given his funny bag?
And you guys are giving your things back.
Walker immediately makes sure they didn't fuck around with his shit and begins fixing things if they did.
Everything, you can tell it was all taken out. A couple things are like, they're turned differently. Everything was put back exactly where it was.
Wait, this could be bad.
Upon noticing, Walker does... Like, in the back of his mind, he's a little afraid for the others, but he approves of what's happened to his own.
Did this time the bag feel lighter?
No.
Was my bag lighter? My bag was pretty heavy.
Searching, nothing seems to have been affected.
Do these fuckers comment?
They don't say anything. They just give you a all's good day.
What
Welcome,
about wait a minute? This doesn't check out. There's some shit.
There's a small not like one of them comes out from the tent and just kind of whispers to the other one, and then just like, you know, they speak for a moment, and then it's just been a couple years, but welcome home. Specifically towards Amari and Rom, who have mentioned this. With your things, they head off.
And then we fuck off towards the city.
Can I just X my bag a little bit more?
Yeah, once we're out of eyesight from, or far enough away, I'm gonna open my bag and look inside to make sure all my, especially the healing potions and stuff are there, but especially my cup.
Everything is there.
What about certain items that indicate garish patriotism?
Everything is there.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Just gotta fuck off towards our city.
Does it look like our stuff got fucked with?
I mean, it definitely, like, you get that sense.
It probably, they just opened it and closed it.
You get a sense that things have been moved, but like in the sense that, like, if someone came and took all of your towels in your bathroom, put them all back the same way, but folded them a different way, type of thing. Like, everything is still incredibly well organized, but there are definitely signs that at least some signs that things have been looked through. You can't tell exactly how thoroughly, but...
Okay.
We should take extra care. They've seen things now. No doubt they've made note of some of it.
Everyone best be on their, well, best behavior.
We may want to consider finding that house sooner than tomorrow.
Rick just kind of, oh, there ain't nothing at all to worry about. We're fine. See, they let us through. They're good people. You know, if you have to rank them, you got, at this point, he like taps the ground. You got the red band here, and then he holds his hand about chest high. You got the Intellier here, and then he holds his hand about his eyes. You got the Sun's Chosen up here. Not a lot to worry about.
Swap the last two. But that's about right.
He considers for a moment. I had less problems with the Sun's Chosen. They're both good people. And look at that. No problems. They didn't dick us around. But say nothing to do. Oh, hey, like, oh shit. Tell you what. You guys get the first round at, I'll meet you. I'll meet you at the Dancing Hound. I promised that soldier a drink, and I mean to. I'll be back. And he takes his stuff and heads off.
I thought
he was
said
buying the first round? Aye, he said that. He
Second
did.
round. Second round. I promise. First round when I'm there. He says as you guys as he's heading off.
Well, fair enough, I suppose.
Doesn't make difference to me.
I guess we go in.
And so
Into the wall.
you approach the impressive bastion of civilization that is Virona. A few Intellier guards give you a cursory glance, but it seems that the checkpoint that is the Sun's Chosen is trusted, and outside of a quick glance and one officer who is very blatantly casting a detect magic spell, you are waved into the city.
How blatant.
Her eyes are glowing green. The green is so bright that, like, it's almost like smoke coming out of them for a moment before she kind of blinks and it goes away after scanning.
I didn't actually mean to ask that question.
Oh, there you go. So, as you cross the gate into the city of Virona, the sun-kissed holy capital of Leanor, it is a bustling metropolis that very easily, as I have mentioned, dwarfs the population and size of every other city in the country, probably 5-10-fold at least. The majority of the city here is of a beautiful, almost white stone architecture make, with many buildings being at least 2, sometimes more stories. As opposed to much of the country, the roofs are made of clay tile that are mostly in shades of blue, but occasionally a light red or cream color. Many of the buildings have an outer focus emphasizing pillars, a very Roman style, with lots of the landings and courtyards and porches having incredibly detailed pillars of, be it marble or granite or any other type of stone, built into them. But cutting away this very clean white stone is ivy and general greenery that grows across parts of them. There are many bushes and other things that are up on 2nd, 3rd floors, even higher in this very multi-tiered city. And the ivy will grow up and down these walls, sometimes reaching even to the streets themselves. Many of the buildings almost come off as city blocks themselves, with the fact that you'll see a building and there will be stairs outside that lead to a 2nd floor, which has its own courtyard and then a smaller building on top of it. Like a outdoor apartment almost. And these are incredibly popular and allow for multiple businesses or dwellings on separate levels of even the same building, being able to just build on top of each other with this stone architecture, allowing for a much taller and more vertical city than just about any in all of Atlee. The main streets here... oh, you thought I was done. I warned you about how big Virona is.
I know you did!
The main streets, at least here in... You are currently at what's known as Merchant's Landing, one of the 6 districts of the city, the most commonly traversed one. And the streets here are wide and imposing, lined with plinths that are topped with stone bowls, which burn all night with all manner of wood and oil on them, while side alleys and other incidental thoroughfares are commonly narrow, dark, and more often than not, much more dangerous, given that. This is a city where the main thoroughfares are the only place where most people exist, and going through alleys is a way to invite yourself trouble, even in the markets, like the landing here. The major intersections of the various roads are emphasized with these beautiful and incredibly detailed statues of various important figures from Leanor's history, which are normally made of bronze or marble, and they stand almost oppressively, looking over the city itself, sometimes 3-4 times human scale. All of them, at the base of them, have various plaques detailing the people, sayings, just reminders of Virona and Leanor and the Sun King and Solara's power and existence.
Am I allowed to talk now, Dad?
Go ahead. There's plenty more that we can get to later.
As we walk, assuming there's not like an interior agent or guardsman just over our shoulder, Walker will look to Owen. So, how do you feel?
About what?
Recall, we met your uncle. He thought it'd be very funny if the idea of you two coming here. Wondering if you share that opinion.
I suppose there's... It does give me a bit of a chuckle walking through the gates, sword in hand, as it were. That captain's comment about, what did he say? Infiltrators or something like that?
Insurgents.
Aye. If only he... Thank Karat that he doesn't.
What if he says that to everyone? Every heavily armed group of... well, maybe he had a point.
I'll tell you one thing, this is the tallest place I've ever been to. It's like the buildings are closing in above us, choking out the sky.
Funny. I remember being taller. Though it has been quite a few years.
If not for the ivy, it would be a bleak place.
Maybe. Anyway. For now, we should probably find somewhere to talk. Set up for the evening.
As you guys begin to walk down this main street in Merchant's Landing, you note there are many signs, wanted posters. This is very uncommon. They are plastering the walls. Every 20-30 feet there's one. Some tattered, some new. Very
Walker looks
consistent.
at one.
All of them say the same thing. Wanted. 1,000 suns.
Fuck.
The Night Mist. In air quotes.
The what?
The
Night Mist?
Night Mist.
Excuse me while I update my notes.
Man, I was just thinking how
We
nobody has ever
heard
talked
about that, didn't we?
those.
I did. I think
Since we
Amari
heard
mentioned it.
about
All it shows is a mask of white with a splotch of blue growing up one side and a blue cloak. That is all any of them. They are all over. Everywhere you look, every 20, 30 feet, there's...
This is the type of thing you can just grab and bring with you, right? Like,
There
they'll
are
just be
so
putting
many of
another one
them, you
like a
doubt
day.
anyone would care.
Oh yeah,
roll-
this is the Atlium Batman, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Walker kind of grabs it, looks at it as the group walks. This is, you know what they call this? You'll kind of like hit the paper with the back of one hand while holding it with the other. Look to the group.
Yes, the Phoenix Wright.
Walker's a lot of things, all right.
I don't know what they call it, but I'd call it trouble in paradise.
Call it a pipe dream. Type of thing that's not worth wasting your time on.
I'm sure that's not going to stop dozens of fools thinking to make 1,000 sons.
I'd say not, but it's a nice thought.
What is this person wanted for?
Walker looks down at it. Something
Does not
heinous.
say. Not say.
Would I have heard about the Night Mist?
Yes.
Pretty sure you brought it up
You
before.
did. Yeah, you brought it up before after a history check.
He's a vigilante, I think.
Yes. A vigilante who has apparently been hunting down and killing certain people in the city. And has made quite the name for themselves.
Was it that Walker told Amari when he brought it up, like, what if there's someone like that in Starshore, and then Walker says, that's like a... that's fantasy or something like that? He told him there's no way that's possible.
Something.
It was
Well-
in reference to the boy that Amari fucking.
It was
handed to
before.
the
Yeah.
Walker said it to
Silver
him
Platter.
before that happened.
Yeah.
And then Amari and Simon never told us exactly what happened with the hunt. Or the fact
Only
that they got a
Amari
fucking
knows
kid
exactly
punched
what
in.
happened with the hunt is the is the thing.
I don't metagame, fucker.
I know.
Anyway. The city streets are hustling and bustling. People on every corner, people moving. It is constant traffic. You have to keep moving just to not get ran over. As you move through, where are you all trying to go at this late afternoon?
Well, Rick told us a specific place to go.
He did.
So I'd
in
say
fact.
there, but there was something I was going to add.
Okay.
With that type of money, we can get, he gestures to Owen and Ishri. Two new sets of plate mail. Not just that, but the highest quality you could find in the city.
Can we afford it?
With 1,000 suns?
Oh,
You would also know, Walker, that once you get into like a bounty like that, something that's like almost inexplicably large, there's a lot of room for negotiation. Like, while there isn't a literal asterisk, there is definitely or equivalent value if it's like, oh, I want a house. They'd be like, yeah, no fucking problem, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because these are
I
once
think
in a blue moon type of bounty.
Walker's just postulating, you know?
Oh,
No.
he was
Once in
actually-
a blue moon is the fucking thing he did on the way to Dunrock.
Yeah.
This is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Can you ask for a one-way ticket out of the country?
Is that in or out of character?
They'd say sure, and then they'd clap you in irons and throw you in the dungeon and call it good.
The Red Band, not the dungeon, the Red Band.
The Red Band, it would be a one-way ticket out of the country.
Oh!
got him.
Yeah, so does anyone respond to the armor thing, or?
So like, mechanically, Owen is too much of a wimp for plate armor.
Is that true?
He does not have the strength to wear a suit of plate armor
But
without
would the
taking a penalty.
finest quality plate in the city be something he can maybe wear?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
He would chuckle and he'd say, haven't worn the suit of plate since Citre.
Hmm. Are the streets trashy at all, Vin?
No, they are close
Oh,
to
shit.
spotless. Those of you who have lived here would know that there are mages in training, normally from, you know, the Sun Jewel Cathedral, especially young ones who are escorted throughout the city to clean the city as practice to learning magic.
Son
So I'm
of a
trying to
bitch.
think, would it be appropriate for Walker just to toss the poster into like an alley or whatever?
I mean, appropriate.
Leanor!
Would anyone care? Probably not.
Okay, I fucking know what I was gonna say.
Litterer.
Someone in the party's gonna say something,
Loser.
so I'm gonna toss it in a trash can next time he sees one. Trash cans things? They had to be Virona. It's gonna be a marble one, etched with gold.
I mean, there are essentially, you know, wagons full of trash and things like that where you can drop something off and just
Yeah,
crates.
Walker tosses the crumpled up, he crumples the poster and tosses it in the conveniently placed nearby cart.
Anyway,
And then we go to the end.
then you go to the inn. Asking around for a little while, you are quickly told that it is right here off of the main street here in Merchant's Landing. You search for just a couple of moments, and once you kind of go by it and have to kind of like rotate and circle back around, essentially like I gotta wait for traffic, make a U-turn, and eventually you find yourselves at the Dancing Howl. Biggest and most popular tavern in all of Leanor.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nice.
It is multiple stories with an entire second building, which is used as an inn. And upon heading inside, there is, like, opening the door. It immediately feels different. The inside, there's a
feels what?
step up, different. There is a step up, and then it is so much more. While being this wide open, you can actually see where there's balconies and openings in the middle, so you can actually see up to the second floor without even being able to get up to it. You can see there's lots of people. It looks like the downstairs is more for drinking, the upstairs is more for eating, but there are definitely people doing both. There are people playing music. There's an entire band, a couple of lutes, some flutes, someone playing what looks like a violin. There is someone hitting a couple of bongo drums. It is a full celebratory, just insanely active tavern.
Walker, upon entering, immediately sighs and mumbles, "This isn't really what I had in mind."
Oh, this is great.
This looks like a fun time.
Do people seem like genuinely like happy and like enjoying themselves and all that jazz?
It is very upbeat in here. Like, this is, like, I mean, it might as well be a party right now.
And Ishri's just smiling even though she's freaked out by the number of people.
Well, let's see about a table and something to eat, I guess.
So the bottom floor does not have tables in the way you would expect. It has long hall style tables, cafeteria style, going from one end of the hall to the other.
Jesus.
There's a couple of, maybe a foot or two in between them, but people just sit down wherever. You see as a barmaid just kind of looks at you and just... She's wearing a very, very clean but well-worn dress. She's got her hair tied back and then just this white poofy hat on just to keep her hair up and clean a little bit more. And just, what'll it be for you today? Can I get you? Sit wherever you like. regulars, first timers?
First time.
First. Welcome to the Dancing Hound.
I mean, I'm sure Rom has been here before, so she just says, well, it's been a few years.
Know what they say, the Dancing Hound's always here for you. And she gives a little smile. Sit wherever, I can come and figure out your drink order in a couple of minutes, alright? Alright. And she gives you just a very quick smile, a thumbs up, and heads off. Coming! Yelling at someone else and running to another table.
Well, let's not waste any time. Walker will find is there a relatively empty one of those tables, or one where we can kind of get some semblance of privacy?
There are probably 250 people in.
Yeah, well, worth a shot.
What
about, like, on the second floor?
There is room to, like, if you want to kind of be separated, there is. There's probably, like the bottom floor probably fits up to, like, 400 people or so it's barely over half capacity.
You said we can kind of see the second floor. Is there, like, tables there? Like,
there are tables up on the second floor, yeah.
Why don't we sit up top? Maybe we'll get some more privacy that way.
Maybe.
One would hope.
Yeah, sounds like an affirmative to Walker. He'll just start making for whatever stairs exist.
Head for the stairs across the hall, across the long hall, and head up them in the corner. They go about halfway up and then circle the rest of the way, and you see this this gentleman with this very fine, almost monkey suit-like tuxedo of black and white. And he just gives you this this very quick smile and just, well, hello there. A table then. For how many?
How many do we got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Very well.
8.
He motions you in a general direction. There should be one ready to go over there.
And we follow him.
I know, he just motions in that direction and sends you
towards
towards
it. Go where he gestured.
There is a long, almost picnic bench-like table. Everything in here is wood as well. Like, that makes it feel much more homely. It's a dark, almost like a dark oaken wood. Makes everything, even though it's wide open, it gives it a more cozy feel. The large, bright flames of outside and the sun are not as effective in here. There's less in the way of natural lighting and much more in the way of dim-lit lanterns and things, making everything, even though it's massive, feel smaller and much cozier.
Is there like a big fireplace on one side, or?
The fireplace is on the first floor. A fireplace on the second floor. And...
Okay, alright.
Not that fancy.
No. Hey, it's the largest, not the fanciest. It's the difference.
I guess we all sit down, yeah?
Sure.
You all sit down. There's room for like 4 of you on one side, 3 on the other. Question, what did you do with your horses?
Do they have the...
Like hitching posts?
Yeah, the classic.
Do they have a garage like
Jack.
across the street?
Fuck it, pay for some like 6-hour parking at the garage.
Yeah. Is there a meter? Horse meter?
That's one of those things where you put in your credit, where
valet.
like they give you a thing and then they just don't let you out till you put your credit card in to pay for it at the end of the night.
Yeah.
You got valet drivers?
Did they have a valet?
No, they don't have a valet. But hitching post and taking care of your horses for at least a couple of hours is no problem. You get the sense, and Rom, you would be able to confirm, this place makes buku fucking money, and taking care of horses to encourage people to show up is nothing for them.
They have a guy for that.
They have a guy for that.
They have a squadron for that.
With that, you guys have sat down, gotten vaguely comfortable, and a few moments later, you can see there's like, it's a little bit, I'm not gonna say quieter, but it's a little more reserved upstairs. Like downstairs, it's very rowdy. You can hear people arguing, yelling. Up here, there's a little bit more reservation and a little bit more respect. if that makes sense. Like, there's much more of that, all right, we're going out to dinner, but we're not going to a place too fancy type of thing. You can see there's some people that just kind of watch. One person in particular you see in a very dark, almost like charcoal gray, but very clean outfit, has been sitting at one of the tables next to the railing overlooking the first floor, and his eyes have not really taken off of the first floor, like he's been watching something. Other than that, there's no immediate people who stick out.
No soul striders.
We check the corners.
Check the corners.
The only soul
I check Owen's lap.
Has anyone checked under the tables? I'll do that next.
We also look up.
At this Applebee's.
We look up.
There's a soul strider on the ceiling like Spider-Man.
Fuck. Does it have knives for hands?
His head's like rotated like backwards, like he has his
Oh
hands
god,
in the arm.
it's an exorcist soul strider.
They have all of them here. Collect them all.
Screeches like a demon.
And after screeching like a demon, it falls on Robin and impales her, and she's dead.
Let's go! You see, that's the collectibles. We have to meet every type of soul strider.
I have to clear this up real quick. This is like an Applebee's, right?
You have to address it bro. Listen, it's a combination Applebee's Best Western, alright?
Please, can it not be an Applebee's?
Okay, it's Chili's Best Western.
Chili's is arguably...
Oh yeah, it's way worse.
The Chili's in our town is so bad.
I'll take Chili's over Applebee's.
Bad everywhere. Is it? Is it the Outback Steakhouse?
Sometimes Applebee's is worse. Sometimes Chili's is worse. It matters.
This is more like the Atlium version of like a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh! That's a good comparison, actually.
That is really good. These are B-dubs? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you guys are essentially a fucking at the world's biggest sports bar.
Let's get fucked up.
We order the wings.
So, before
is anyone throwing balls? What's going on?
Before you even order, there is a small, not a large tankard, not a pitcher, but a small barrel of ale with tap and 8 glasses brought over to you.
Love that.
Yes.
What? There is hesitation from Walker, but he does not partake.
What a loser.
I'm sorry, Logan. What were you asking?
I was gonna start like talking.
Wait, Logan asked if there's jerseys on the wall. There are not jerseys, but there are many scarred, bent, and broken weapons and armor on the walls.
Is it like signed? Is there like signed like armor?
Is there like a big painting of the time the Sun King came for a visit?
and like a sign.
No. It's like a dirty napkin with a plaque.
I was gonna say there's a wall of signed coins that are glued to the wall. Where just everybody signs $1 when they get there.
Out back there's an alley filled with bottle caps.
But no, Rom, you would know that in the almost sports bar-like vibe, most all of the broken and damaged weapons and armor here are from... Oh god, it's so hard to go through all my notes for Virona. Like, it should be like 7 different pages rather than 1. They are from people who have competed in the Valerine Coliseum of Bones.
Oh shit!
Let's
fucking go.
It is an open-air Coliseum.
I want to be a gladiator.
Where essentially any type of violent entertainment goes. Occasionally non-violent.
Basically the Coliseum.
Give me a history check, Rom. I would also allow one from Simon and Evian. Or Simon and Amari, not Evian.
I'll just say, Evian.
Well, Rom didn't pay
so
attention
good
in
at
that
making
class.
history checks.
Oh my god.
Well. Failure.
Not a lot more to know there. Amari and Simon, you would know that the Coliseum of Bones is run by the Crown Court. And the name Valerine is short for Alphonse Valerine, a commander of the Sun's Chosen who died over 100 years ago, who was, like, hailed as this huge hero. There's a lot of shit in the city named after.
Does Owen know anything about this man and what he may or may not have become famous for?
No. Straight no. It's not a story the Gars would tell you.
Okay.
Alright then, you dumb fucking dumb.
Yeah, we gave
Fucking memer.
Anyway, can I start talking to my friends now?
I'm sorry.
fuck you.
I have 7 more pages of exposition of description if you'd like.
Then
Only if it's about the
I will make the funny noise.
I'm gonna
don't
describe
stop
how
me.
much I want to hurt you in a fucking second. I swear to God.
Who's that directed at?
What?
I don't know.
What funny noise, William? What are you
I
talking
really
about?
don't know.
Listen, I won't bring it out unless it's absolutely needed.
You know what? You say that about a lot
I
of
kind of want to know what the funny
Because
noise
no
is.
one
I'd
else
like
is
it
going
if
to
you did
enjoy it.
Yeah, but
No,
I
no,
will.
no, wait,
Isn't
go
that
ahead.
enough?
Go ahead. Do it.
Am I in
No,
the
let
hand
him do
forced?
it. Let it go.
No, I
We're
have
not
to prove
continuing
this
D&D
my
until he does it.
Release the noise, please.
Thank you, William. It's not gonna be as funny on the recording because normally you scream it as loud as you can.
Was it not? I want me to do it louder?
Why did it
Yeah.
sound
Nope.
so far away? It was so distant. It's like you walked across the room first, man. What the fuck?
I was in the other room as I made the noise.
I think Mitchell just got stabbed. Let's bring it back in, guys.
Are we all gonna take off? Are we all gonna take off
Our
our
clothes?
headsets and scream in
Oh.
the other room?
No,
Is
yes.
that the goof?
Let's all play D&D from the other room.
Alright.
Is that what
I
it
went to
sounded
the other
like?
side of my office and screamed at you guys. I hurt my throat.
Alright. Can we
my throat
get back?
and no
Can we
more
play?
water, fuck.
Can we play D&D? Please.
That hurt my throat and we have no water. You know what that means?
I have no water
You know
either.
what that means?
Is it break time to get water?
It's break time to go get water.
Alright,
Oh
time to get
my
some fucking
God.
water.
Jesus.
Our small keg.
Anyway, so
We've got a lot to do, a lot to talk about. I was talking with Rick a while back, and he said something that gave me an idea.
Did it though?
That right.
We're gonna need supplies for this trip. Things aren't going to get any safer for us here on out. So, getting upgrades for everyone's gear, new bags, things like that, is paramount.
My bag's alright.
Walker waves Amari off. He thinks could be better, but he's already on a thought. If you could do what you did in Typic Rest, here, both you and Rick, collect funds that way, we can get all the supplies we needed.
Oh, Moses Walker, you asking me to spend more of my mama's money? She looks positively delighted. Even, like, claps her hands a little.
I suppose so. Your uncle feels that if you've ever had a chance to spend that money and not, you should have done otherwise.
Well, tickle me pink. She just looks like thrilled.
Walker is currently telling Rob to break the law. It's great.
Anyway,
Laws are subjective.
any money we do have, we should. Well, it doesn't matter if we spend as much of it as we have. It's not going to do us much good in a little while.
That'll be quite something to go where we're going and be penniless.
I was
Going
thinking
chuckles.
we could try to convert our coins into something that would have universal value.
Well, if we're on the subject of universal value, I've talked with Simon, but and with your father, Evian.
Oh.
If you could get me a diamond prom, you know, if you can't, it's all right. But if you can, I'd appreciate it.
I'm sure I could figure something out. As they say, diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Why?
What?
Well, because they're sparkly.
I mean, my armor?
Typically, often, at least sometimes, high-class women around here tend to like adorning themselves with all kind of glittery things.
I think shallow would be a better description.
Is it to ward off some sort of predator that would be deterred by the shininess?
Yes,
or
poor people.
No. Damn sure.
Owen does not laugh. Only
What
Nick
Ram
laughs.
is describing is
Wouldn't it do the opposite? Wouldn't it attract poor people?
So true.
Mari like snorts, but doesn't laugh.
it's not like that, Ashri. It's just
A sign of wealth.
yeah.
Something like
Decoration.
that.
Either way, are such things as valuable and as valuable there as they are they as valuable there as they are here?
Can I answer that question in the affirmative then?
Yep. Gems are
I-
incredibly valuable elsewhere.
That would be a good avenue then. Otherwise, then would the word bullion be a thing? Am I saying that wrong? Am I talking about is that the funny stock?
Bullion?
Yeah,
No,
bullion
gold
is like, you mean
bullion?
like bullion cubes? Like,
Bullion? Is
No,
it bullion?
gold
Bullion.
bullion is a thing. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. You know me in words.
Walker will just say expensive materials, maybe something like silver, gold, platinum,
Yes,
anything like that.
as a quick aside, Owen, what you have observed for the most part is that literally anything on the planet will retain more value out of this country than money. Like,
Let's buy a bunch
coin
of
out of
shares.
this country
That's
does
it.
not retain value at all. Anything. Like, fucking, you could buy straight fabric and it would still retain more value, like, selling later than you would get just having the coin and trying to exchange it.
Owen chuckles and kind of pats the keg and says, even if we invested all of our coin in this, we'd be better off than carrying it outside of Leanor.
Well, let's say we invest in something smaller and lighter. Anyway, once we have funds, I'd say it's about time we purchase some upgrades. Where's Mari sitting?
Probably near you, or near
Let's say
Walker.
next to you. Walker will kind
Yeah.
of slap Amari in the back a little too hard. This one needs some better armor.
Yeah. Though I'm not sure there's too much bitter.
Studded leather will surprise you.
I don't know where you guys are sitting, but I went ahead and made a table for you just for the hell of it.
I want to walk with you like near the middle-ish.
I figured you didn't want to be near Evian.
What?
Put him on the
Bitch, no. Put him right fucking next to me.
whatever.
I didn't.
I don't think Walker cares. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Go. Anyway, we can probably find you something better as well, Owen.
Is there a way for me to communicate, like...
How good your armor is?
No, it's just like...
How strong you are?
No, like, so... Mechanically, if Owen wears plate armor, his speed will be reduced to 20 feet.
What about Splint?
Same thing.
Well,
Splint requires strength 14, plate requires strength 15. Owen
They
has
both
strength
require
13.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it both 15? Okay. So... hold on, I got this. On kind of, he kind of scratches the back of his neck, squints a little bit. Plate would slow me down.
well,
And it's expansive as well.
yeah, during times of war especially, but there are other options. Verona's a big city. Plenty of
Aye,
armors.
but every place we've gone, they've been looking for weapons and armor. Any smith in Verona is going to charge, what, double?
Premium. Well, I guess it all depends on how much funds we have once ROM is done.
You saw all of those soldiers wearing all of that plate armor. You think they have a bunch just lying around for the likes of us?
Well, depends on the armor, depends on how much we're paying.
And I'm sure a smith would be willing to make some, but we haven't the time to stick around while it's made.
We should look into it as soon as possible. They might have something that can be modified. Like they were keeping to sell.
Well, if anything, I like that idea you had about finding a house, private house to rent. This place is a bit too loud.
Should be the first thing we do tomorrow. Maybe tonight, depending on how long Rick will be.
Well, who knows about that?
Let's see. Yeah, you could probably use more better armor as well, Ron.
Working pretty fine for me.
You never know. It's better to look at upgrades now while we can.
I suppose wouldn't hurt to see.
Otherwise, better traveling bags would be in order. Ishri is currently using a sack.
I mean, I'm fine with the sack. I feel like, doesn't this seem a little excessive? I mean, if we have all of this money to spare, are there not people who are out on the street who could use this money more? Instead of us upgrading things like our bags, they're perfectly fine.
I suppose if we have any left, we can give to charity.
Real quick, we need excuse me, we need to take a 2-second break. All right, sorry about that. We may continue.
So Ishri, or Hannah, you want to rephrase your question? Or not
Rephrase?
rephrase, but restate.
Ishra asks, I mean, I think that the things that we have are perfectly fine. I mean, they've gotten us this far, and this sack has gotten me a long way. I've had it for many years. If we have all of this extra money to spend, are there not people who need it more? I mean, we saw. I mean, did you not see all the people as we passed by coming in here? I'm assuming there were plenty of homeless people. So.
No. Not a single
What?
one.
What? Really? Okay. All right.
Well, that's nice, dude.
I thought the what was it called?
Well, they have the mages come clean them up.
I don't know, but the approach you said was...
The approach has a very shantytown feel to it. There is that. Like, if that is what you were referring to. But there was no one, like, obviously on the streets begging or anything.
Those people have all been shipped off to the Red Band.
Oh, red band.
Walker just slowly shakes his head. The path we tread is a dangerous one. We'll need all the help we can get.
I don't see how getting a new sack is really going to change the danger level.
having easier access to things you'll need, being able to carry more with less of a burden.
I won't turn it down, but I'm just saying. And I can help purchase for people like though I don't know how good I'll be at, but I can help. She shrugs.
Once again, to give context for those of you who have lived in the city, Simon, Amari, Rom, the city kids, you would know that being homeless is illegal in Virona.
That's great.
How dare you?
What do you do?
Imagine being poor.
Leave.
What do you do if you don't have a house?
You
Just
leave,
have to leave.
or you get arrested.
Just get a house.
Funny.
It's not that
Ah!
Imagine you're sleeping on the side of the road, doing nothing wrong, and the cop just shows up, beats you, and then throws you into the caravan.
All right, Logan, we don't need to hear about your last Wednesday night. Let's play D&D.
Listen, it's crazy.
Oh,
Imagine
God.
sleeping in war.
In rain.
Anyway,
Does Verona have gutters?
I mean, yes, in the sense that it is battered by storms constantly and requires good rain, like, drainage.
Good to know.
Yeah, the streets are cobblestone, right?
They are a very beautiful, clean cobblestone.
Probably from the water.
Evian,
Mm-hmm.
given what you currently carry, would you be willing to carry extra rations? Things like that?
Yeah, no problem. I do not carry much at all, so...
Walker nods. On top of that, we do have the bounty to look into.
Aside from waiting for Lokar, that's really the only thing I'm interested in Virona.
That'd be the last thing. We have about a week before he should be in town.
Well, I have some people that I need to see before I leave.
I believe Amari had some people as well.
Yeah. If they're around.
Who are all these people?
Hopefully my friend Sander's back. It'll be great to see him. I have someone else that I'd like to see as well.
Someone?
Don't,
Mitchell.
don't. That's in character. Mari's just like, don't, no, bad. No, it's not like that.
Can I come with you? I could be a pretty good wing woman.
Maybe.
You do not even have any wings.
Not currently.
Oh fuck, okay.
Might be counterproductive, depending on what he's trying to do.
Well, what would you know about it, Moses Walker?
Walker shrugs.
I didn't mean that to sound as confrontational as it did. Sorry.
If you see someone you knew a long time ago walk up with a girl you've never seen before, what's your first thought?
They fucking...
Oh no.
Rom just
Walker just
wants
kind of
Amari all
nods,
to
like
herself.
gestures towards Evian.
Well, maybe not.
Again, I don't know what Amari planned, so up to him.
Would you like? Do you want me to come as well? Would you like me to come as well? Would that dissipate the strangeness of the situation, or would it appear as if you are fucking both of us?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. This is my one area that I'm not very well versed in.
Oh, that makes two of us.
You
lad.
you could bring Evian. There's the vaguest
Well,
hint
what
of
the-
a smile on Walker's face.
That would be.
But who
That
knows?
might be
Maybe
worse.
she could be gone. Who knows?
I'm
Mari
also
just kind of like rubs
surprised.
the back of his head.
I'm also surprised that Jakeman didn't make a comment like that.
About me fucking Amari.
No.
Why did I just turn Italian? What's happening?
You did. You did tell him that you did tell me to keep my clothes on. So I mean, and he was offended deeply by that. So
Yeah.
probably assumed
I
at that
suppose he
point.
was.
Well, I suppose I never asked about that. Yeah, I assume you found him.
Yeah. Convinced him to make his way to Virona. He's still with that, the Asimar.
Lori.
Lori.
I'm disappointed we didn't meet her, especially if she really is a sweetheart. I did really want to meet her.
Sounds like
Nice to
he's
know.
good for him.
Yeah, well... He says he's in love with her, and I've heard him say that quite a few times. This is the one. Walker kind of rolls his eyes extremely heavily.
I can feel the air quotes.
Anyway. If she's willing to help him get over whatever this is, then... Good.
I do not know if I would call being a werewolf something that you just get it. But
It depends
Well.
who you know, I suppose.
It'll be a process, but he's heading to, I don't know if he follows my advice, the forest to the north of here. He's going to set himself up, and Lori's going to go meet with them for him. Supposedly, something about it made the cities, I'm going to say unpleasant, but it's not exactly how he described it. Either way, he was doing well. Well, as well as possible, given the circumstance.
I also learned how to fish. It was very easy. And Ishri just smiles.
I'm glad.
And she did.
I was this close to channeling my inner Kitus, but
Do it.
I held it back.
Do it! What does that mean? And why did Logan just fucking have a brain hemorrhage?
Anyway, so, a couple of moments pass. The specialty of the day, which is recommended, they do have their traditional chicken wing platters.
Oh my god.
They are grilled and they come in what are called stacks. Generally, a stack of wings is for 4 to 6 people. If you were to inquire about the number, there's just kind of a shrug and just, it's a stack. Other than that, the specialty of the day here at the... I feel like someone's either laughing or, like, snorting.
Sorry, my dog just peed on the floor randomly, so I have to clean it up.
fucking love that guy.
Oh.
An absolute legend.
Sorry, it's a spray bottle.
is that a
fucking
spray bottle?
It is!
I thought he was shitting. I was like,
No, that's the piss noise.
That's what he sounds like. Alex's dog sounds like pissing. There we go.
No, it's not. It's not
hope that's
funny.
not what
It's
your
not
piss
funny.
sounds
He's
like.
old.
Guys, it's not funny. The noise Alex's dog makes when he pisses isn't funny, guys. Come on.
It's not funny. He's old.
Anyway.
People can be funny.
Anyway. The The
saying,
current
can't teach a new dog- an old dog new
special
tricks.
otherwise.
Shut up!
The current special otherwise is stewed pheasant and leeks.
What's cheaper?
Stewed?
The wings?
Yes, as in a.
It's like one cross one.
I'll mute myself.
Please do that first. It's like a cent for like 3 wings or something. Stupid cheap.
But anyway, yes. So generally probably about the same price.
Wings it is.
All right. You have
take wings as
3
well.
options for the wings. There is a spicy Astorian recipe. There is the traditional set of spices, or there is a more earthy taste.
I'll take the earthy one.
It's per stack. They're tossed in the stack of spices. In any case, you guys get a couple of stacks of wings, and after maybe 10-15 minutes, got your drinks, and there's everything kind of goes silent for a moment. There's just this big crash as the front door down below opens, and just everything goes silent. And you look for a moment, and you look down, and some of you kind of have to lean, those of you on the walker side kind of have to lean to be able to see over down to the first floor. But you see this, you see it takes a moment, but for all of you but Ishri, a familiar sight. You recognize it as Pearl, the woman with the massive boar from the Beholden Blades.
Hmm.
And she just kicks the door open.
Callback.
A moment later, she points, very seriously to the bartender. The next round's house for everyone! And there's this huge fucking cheer, and people just start going apeshit.
This really is a B-dubs.
And, the celebration continues. You note she does not have her boar with her.
Oh, goody!
That's
She did not
unfortunate. I wanted to
bring
get a
Oh
picture.
boy.
That was pretty good.
She looks tired, a bit beat up, and very celebratory though. And there's just everybody's cheering, and people just start coming up and hugging her and giving her pats on the back, and you hear a lot, "Yeah, way to go! Fuck yeah, you kicked ass today!" All that kind of shit, just echoing throughout. And things are generally the decibel level has probably been on a steady incline pretty much since you got here. It's getting louder and rowdier. You get a sense this is probably gonna continue until well into the night.
Say, Ishri,
Yes.
where'd you hear that word? Sweetheart.
Oh, it was in that letter that you had? From, I believe it was from Jakeman?
Walker blinks several times. You read that?
Evian's in the fucking background shaking his head. No!
Yes, well, you gave it to me, and that... Sorry, my bad. Well, you gave it to me, and then I was speaking with, I believe it was Evian and Onyx, and they both talked about how, we had a nice conversation about how, we share things, and then you had given me the letters, and they asked if I could also share, and I figured, why not? We're all friends, we have no secrets, and so we read the letters, yes.
Simon looks confused at this.
Is there a problem?
Evian fit under the table.
Dr. Walker's headspace from having too much fun listening to fucking Mitchell react to this.
I imagine Evian's practiced yoga at least once when getting his ass kicked unintentionally. I'm sure he could fit under the table uncomfortably.
Right. I'll keep it in mind for the next 5 minutes.
Walker's kind of silent for a moment. Looks kind of like through Ishri, kind of like into the distance. All of them?
Let's see, yes, well, there was one that I could understand that, Evian read out loud, but he stopped partially through for some reason, said it was personal, which is strange that we would read some of them and not all of them. Yes.
This is a slow turn. So Walker looks at Evian.
Just drinking.
Have you nothing to say for yourself?
Is there something wrong?
Well,
I
honey,
imagine-
there's having no secrets from each other, and then there's privacy.
Oh. But he handed me the letters.
Did he explicitly say that you could read them?
No. Did I make a mistake?
Personally, I would be willing to give you a pass way before Mr. Nosy over there.
Hello.
You read the letter from my mother out loud.
Wait, there was a letter from his mother?
You bitch, that was the Garish one!
Was it?
Yes, the one you PM'd! It was from his mother, who's in Garland!
I thought I didn't read that one.
You started and then
I thought I
stopped halfway.
fucking looked at who it was from and I was like, no sir.
No, you
read
read
it
it
out
out
loud
bad
in
halfway
character.
through.
Huh.
You read the first sentence out loud, and then you went,
Right on.
I should not be.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'll
It was a
I'll repeat that for you so we can get back into it. You read the letter from my mother.
this was a bad mistake that I did stop reading it, but it was in a moment of thinking that I might not be making it back, so I figured, hey, what the fuck, and it is not something that I am proud of. Not a very good excuse.
Slow head shake. Disapproving head shake.
Yeah.
Walker takes a deep breath, looks back to Ishri. It'd be best if you don't read the people's documents, unless they say you can.
Okay, yes, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize. I'm very, very sorry. If there's anything I can do to make that up, I really apologize. I had no idea. Would you like me to beat Evie up for you?
Damn.
It won't change anything.
I mean, brain damage.
There's still a lot you have to learn of our culture. If someone asks you to look after something, it's best just to keep it safe and not do anything with it. Unless they say otherwise.
Yes, of course. I will in the future. Yes. I'm very sorry.
Walker would then cast a sideways glance at Simon, but not say anything else as he starts eating.
Undercutting the scene, in the background, there is a rising echo of chug, 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 chug that keeps getting louder and louder coming from downstairs. And for those of you who care to glance over, you can see that it seems Pearl has started a drinking contest.
How many people are drinking? Or versus one person?
It looks like currently there are somewhere between 20 and 30 lined up in the middle table.
Nice.
How far into our meal is this?
Probably a few minutes at this point. Not long.
Pardon me while I calculate Owen's wings per minute intake.
Is he a hasty
WTM.
eater?
Is Owen one of those guys who, like, takes the big bite and then just takes the bone and, like, puts it in his mouth and bites down and just tears the rest off as efficiently and quickly as possible?
No, I think Owen, he doesn't have, like, any interesting quirks eating. He's just a man who eats food, you know?
He's just a man. Just eats.
But he is at this revelation kind of, he kind of like sits back and he sort of looks aghast at Evian, looks over to Simon and shakes his head and just kind of drops a half-finished wing next to a pile of, finished bones, shakes his head, gets up and says, I can't stay in this place. At least not while that's going on. I'm going for a walk.
The kind where you want company, or the kind where you want to be alone?
Come if you wish. But by all means finish eating. I'm not hungry anymore.
Does Owen appear to be more disturbed by the, like, chugging contest, or is he more disturbed by the revelation of the private...
Evian's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, Owen wasn't super... You've seen this before, right? Like, ever since he's learned what's been happening to his family, he hasn't liked, this kind of merrymaking atmosphere that we keep running into basically everywhere we go, whether it's Uncle Rick or... other regular tavern goers. Owen has just always been kind of distancing himself from these people who are obviously just having a good time. And then to have the revelation where one of his closest friends, in a sense, betrayed one of his other closest friends seems to be a bit too much for him, and he is not having a good time with that.
So, Owen, you head out to go for a walk. Big city. Heading outside in Virona. Though it's obvious looking at the sky that it is not nighttime yet, the height of many of these buildings and the cramped quarters of many of the streets, though not the main street, makes it feel much later than it is. The lighting for the roads is already underway. You see, almost incontingent with it, there are Antelier on horseback patrolling the streets already. Not common to the point of, like, every block, but there are a decent few that you would see. Just coming out, probably at least 4 or 5.
A couple questions. Does Ishri follow Owen, or does she continue with dinner?
I think Ishri would look a little probably guilty, and she'd probably follow. She'd go with. Yeah.
Can I establish as well that Walker more or less quickly finishes eating, lets the others know that he is going to get them a room basically at the tavern for the like rooms at the inn that's connected to the tavern, and that if anyone sees Owen, to let them know that that's where they're going to stay for the night. And he kind of walks off on his own.
And then another follow-up question, like, it's getting dark, right? And like,
Yes.
you know, you said people are lighting lamps. So are there like people in the streets, or like?
Yes,
is there,
the
like, a
streets are
curfew going
still
on?
very much full and constant. Like, you immediately are swept up in a crowd. Even just, like, it's even a crowd at this point, just pushing out of the dancing house.
So as he steps into the street, then out of the dancing hound, he would just say over his shoulder to Ishri, he would say, "Stay close," and he would be content to kind of wander for a bit and just observe.
Is he, like, staying silent? Does he look like he wants to talk? That sort of thing?
He looks more comfortable now that he's out moving. You can tell he's in true to character. Owen, oftentimes, like, there'll be like a statue, and then like immediately to the right of that statue there's a giant wall of ivy, and of course he's looking at the giant wall of ivy rather than the giant statue, you know, stuff like that. It looks like he's doing a little bit better, but you know, he's not, and he'll like point stuff out to Ishri, right? Like, you know, I don't know, if there's like a fountain, he'll be like, "That's a fountain." I don't know, stuff like that.
That's fine.
And Ishri will look amazed, because I doubt she's seen well, maybe she's seen like the ruins of one, but she's never seen a fountain before.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Are you going to be okay? If you say that where we are going is jovial all the time, you don't seem to be handling that well. Are you going to be okay?
What do you mean? Oh. As in... I know what you mean. It's just hard, you know, Ishri. I feel like because I was so far away when it happened, even though I've buried them and after a fashion, and we had our ceremony and everything, I don't feel like I've had the chance to grieve. My own uncle wouldn't accept that my brothers were gone, and I had hoped that he would be there. It's hard to be around people who are enjoying life when I feel so much pain. That's all.
Maybe your uncle is just maybe he's just handling it differently. To be honest, most people I know handle grief in the, well, I wouldn't say the jovial way, but you know, but it's not like there, you know, that someone is dead, but in the celebratory way, and maybe he's just handling it differently. More.
Lots of people from my home are like that too, you know. Death is often, the dead are hailed as heroes, and I don't know, I miss them is all.
I understand. Were you... You hadn't seen them, right? For some time. And I imagine there's much more to this entire country, because I haven't really seen children in any of these bars celebrating.
Are there children in the... I suppose you don't have bars at the Citadel, do you?
No. We do have areas where we all, hang out, but, there's no delineated location for the children rather than the adults. What I'm saying is, essentially, what did you do before? What was it like with them before? What were they like? Before you left? Yes.
To be honest, I'm a bit ashamed to say. My older siblings, there's a certain expectation of what you do where I'm from. It's all about fighting and winning, as they say. And I was always the sort of person who preferred other ways. I'm mashing up my words, but and from where I'm from, places like the Dancing Hound, that's commonplace. That's what people do. And me and my sister Wynn, we like to take rides out in the country and look at the clouds and read books. He kind of, when he says books, he uses the tone of voice where he's like implying that in Garish culture, reading books, like, oh, how dare you?
Is that why you're so desperate to get back to her then? Because you were so close?
A lot of the time, Wynn and I were all each other had. I love my siblings, but sometimes they could pile on. Like on as they were by my father.
She wasn't?
Who?
Wynn. She wasn't egged on by your father?
Well, like I said, Hamish and Cedric and Alice, they were your typical, and he kind of mouths the word gars. I can remember a few times when, Hamish or Cedric or Alice especially would, this is years ago when I was growing up, but, look at me, Ishi. I'm not a large lad, I'm no Evian, I'm no you.
Ishi just shakes her head no, like doesn't even cover up, just nope.
I don't know. I never held it against him or anything, but it's just how it was.
And what is she like? When then?
Oh, my wee sister. She's quiet, Slight. Most people from where I come from, they wouldn't look twice at her in a crowd because they couldn't even see her. She's got the same color hair as me, though.
Have I seen anyone else with red hair since I've been here? Because I'm assuming Ishri has never seen anyone with red hair before coming to this plane, but...
I'm sure you've seen at least a few. Actually, I believe...
Didn't the girl who you flashed have red hair?
Cool.
That's
Listen,
who she should be. In everyone's notes, that NPC should be the girl who Ishri flashed.
To be fair, I don't remember her name at all.
It was Alma. And yes, she had strawberry blonde hair. So a little red, but you see a few people with red hair. Definitely rare.
Okay, cool.
Like I'm sure in passing so far you've seen.
Ishri has met Owen's Uncle Fergus, who has, even in his middle to old age, has bright blonde hair.
Uncle Fergus, aka Owen MacDonald.
Correct.
Sorry, that really derailed what you were saying. I apologize.
She's my wee sister. She's got the quick wit, you know. You can get her to talk. And believe it or not, it was her idea to visit the library where we found a certain book.
Well, she sounds very interesting. I look forward to when we're going to get to meet her. If you ever, if you ever need to go for a walk again, or if you just want to, I don't know, go ride horses and look at clouds for a bit. I don't know about the reading bit. If you really want me to, I guess I could read a book. But if you ever need to just get away, just let me know.
You know, Ishri, I appreciate that. And if you want, I don't know if there's going to be time, but I could teach you how to speak my people's language.
They don't speak the devil tongue?
You've heard Owen speak in Garish before.
I mean, I've heard you all speak in Garlish. She just has no context for that it's from Garland.
Okay,
or that it's called Garish. Yeah.
Aye, it's a language of our own. I think you've heard us speak it before.
Oh, is that the language you all speak when you're plotting to kill me? You want to say something I don't know?
Owen looks, he kind of puts his hand over his heart and gives you an expression of mock shock. And he says, Ishri, I don't think any of us would ever plot and kill you.
I wouldn't know.
Well, maybe if you learned the language, you would know. Just a thought. In fact, and he kind of leans in close, I could teach you in secret, so that way nobody would know. And then you'd be able to understand them when they were trying to keep something from you. That would be a fine reveal, it would be.
But then, I guess. Yes, of course. Yes, I feel like I don't have any business, keeping secrets now after what I did to Walker. But if it's a good idea.
That was not a fine thing. Somebody said, we don't have secrets from each other, and I just don't think that's true. And I don't mind it. Everyone's got the right to keep things to themselves. But it's not any kind of... pinches the bridge of his nose. I think it's not that Walker is upset that Evian or you or Onyx knows any of what was in his letters. It's that he gave them to you for safekeeping, and the first thing you did was look at them. Betrayal of trust. That's what it's about. And you didn't know, and I know Walker knows that. Evian has no such excuse.
there's any way I could make it up to him, or make Evian make it up to him, you know, strong arm him into doing something to reconcile. I don't know, but regardless, I would really like to learn a language that we all could speak that isn't the double language. It would be very fantastic.
Ven, is there like a... fuck no. Speaking Garish of Virona, that's like on a list of bad ideas. That's not at the top, but it's pretty close.
It's speaking Garish pretty much anywhere in the country is at best really skeevy and strange, and at worst you're going to be seen as Garish.
Well, I can't imagine it would be wise to start within the walls of the city, but once we get on the road north, remind me again and I'll teach you.
Of course. And maybe, I don't... Yes, of course. Nishri just falls into silence, kind of like Walker does, as she has learned this is what you do at the end of the conversation.
What a good person to have her around to learn how to be an emotional human being.
I mean, I just gave her some nice lessons. Come on now.
Yeah.
She's not a human being, she's an elf.
Yeah, eats shit.
Oh. Gonna be the worst trained elf ever.
Yeah, we should place her with...
Do you think we can make her roll over?
We should place her with Rom's elf.
Oh god. Did you see the fucking license plate I saw today? Hold on, I'll repost it.
Alex.
Can we focus, please?
No, it's directly related. It's directly related.
Alex, we're playing D&D.
Alex is being distracting. We're bad influence on her, then.
Directly fucking related.
If it's not,
it says like thick
I'm
elf
going
or
to
something.
mute you for the next scene and force you to listen to Amari and Evian and Simon roleplay.
A true punishment.
Well, yeah, considering one of them isn't here, one of them feels like shit, and the other one is Amari, who's desperately just trying to keep things normal, I'm going to hope. It's gonna be funny as hell. Speaking of which...
Uh-oh.
Amari!
Hi.
And Evian and Simon, as Walker heads off to go get rooms, the three of you, Simon not being here, Simon's gonna head off with Walker and go to his room immediately, leaving...
For the one person who is high of wisdom amongst that clique, Walker's going off to also not be there.
Of course, it's me. I'm the high wisdom. Oh
Evian,
boy.
You, Amari, and Rom are left at the bar. Or at the table.
We are.
Wonder when they'll get back.
Oh, does it seem like he wants a response to that?
No.
Is Amari just filling silence?
Yeah.
Has the table just been sitting in silence?
As he usually does.
I'd like to think the table's just been completely silent. Evian's just drinking.
Oh my god. Oh.
How many wings is Evian in?
How many do we have?
What is Evian's wing per minute intake ratio?
I feel like it's relatively high.
I've been
He's
can
a
do
big
about,
boy.
Can do about 2 to 3 wings a minute.
Only?
I'm talking like at a casual pace. So I feel like you could really knock him back if you were trying.
That's the WPMR, in case you're wondering.
Thanks.
Anyway,
Nick.
after a few minutes of awkward silence, you thankfully see Rick come up and ask someone you're pointed your direction. He has someone in tow, a man of about late 20s, early 30s, very clean-shaven. You recognize it as the Sun's chosen soldier he promised he'd buy a drink for.
Oh.
Rom does obviously, to the people who have come to know her now, forced smile and waves back.
He puts an arm around the guy and just kind of like, go see him. And, like, motions you to the table. All right, these are my friends. This is my niece, Mona. You can call her whatever you want. That's Amari. He's the best. He's just the best. And this here, he puts his hands on your shoulders, Evian, and just like shakes you a bit. This here is Evian. He's the biggest son of a bitch I think I've ever met.
Evian just nods and continues to.
Hey y'all. This is Kane. He's a soldier with the sun. Shows him, made sure all my stuff was good. Promised to buy him a drink. The guy, he looks really fucking tired, like he wants to go to bed.
Oh no!
Epic.
And he just... How's it going? I trust you've had a good couple of hours here in the city.
Yep.
Well, of course.
May I? And he motions to one of the tankards that is empty.
Amari will nod.
And he quickly gets it about half full and begins chugging very quickly.
Oh man.
He about finishes it and wipes his face and turns back to Rick. I do appreciate the offer. I've taken the drink. I must be going though. I have a wife in the city that Rick just nonsense. You can stay and have a couple more. I'm sure they'd love to learn more about you. No, it's quite all right. We're okay. We'll be fine. Oh, come on now. There's plenty of other things you can be worried about right now. Right, Rom?
Oh, Uncle, you should let the poor fellow go if he needs to go to his family.
He turns and like gives this big sigh. And, you know, damn good soldier. Proud to know that you're protecting me and this guy. And he like gives him a pat on the back, and the guy just gives a sigh. Right. You have a good night, Mr. Henrik. I'll call you in on other drinks. And he like not even hiding it, and he starts to turn around without ever even sitting down and leave. Oh, that poor bastard. I can't believe he let me drag him this far. Oh, that shows that they got the discipline and patience of a damn. What's a good saying for that?
Rock in a rainstorm.
Yeah, sure. Rock in a rainstorm. And he sits down and he finishes off the one that guy was drinking from and starts refilling it. So, how's it going? Where's everybody else?
Around.
He kind of nods and something wrong right now. I mean, you see, he begins. You know, that girl. She's down here from the Blades. He's apparently she did some big show over at the Coliseum today, and celebrate.
Is that right?
Yeah. They had. He kind of thinks for a second. They had like. They kept releasing different animals, like bats and shit. I don't know. And she was hitting them all out of the sky. You know, she did it for like an hour.
I suppose that's impressive, considering how they fared the last time we ran across them.
Right. You told me that. Well, in any case, she's apparently one of the best damn shots in all of Leanor. So, I'm sensing something weird going on. What happened?
Why don't you ask That one over there. From like indicates Evian.
He just turns. You didn't like me.
I'd imagine that Evian has been like fucking half paying attention, and he is starting to suffer the consequence, right? And he's not there. Evian's not home.
Turns back to Rom and then to Amari. Looks to Rom, looks to Amari. Back to Evian. Rom, Amari, Evian.
It's complicated. We'll tell you about it later.
I wasn't even gone that long, and like, what's been, an hour or two?
Well, it was something that happened a while ago.
So I was
came to
harassing that
light,
guy.
I suppose.
If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I do have some good news. I was harassing that guy. I was asking him, I'm like, hey, you gotta come get a drink on. I asked him, like, what were they looking for? Why were they looking through all of our stuff? And, I mean, he was very reticent to say, but in the end, he did. And long story short, they're looking for. He kind of scrunches his face. Powerful arcane artifact. He like looks specifically to like locks eyes with you guys.
That's odd.
Is that right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I just got a bad idea of why they might be doing that.
I mean, yeah, I kind of put 2 and 2 together myself.
Do I look like I was born yesterday?
They lose one of the scourges.
I mean, compared to me, but yeah. I get you.
Just rolls her eyes.
I do, it does make me wonder, though, why, if they look through all of your stuff, they just let y'all pass. Especially Owen. They saw his ilk K from Arlen Gay in his Akpak Bay.
Very discreet.
He just kind of waves his hands around. And, why didn't they do anything about it? Maybe they didn't recognize it. Don't get me wrong, they're talented, but most of them in the Sun shows are dumb as a box of bricks when it comes to, the critical thinking. It's real damn good at following order.
Well, maybe there's something else they're more worried about right now.
Still,
like you
why
said.
wouldn't... It's not like we were one of a billion people. There were only a few behind us. Didn't wait in line long. A few times I've been in here since they've been starting all this shit on and off. It's been longer, but didn't do anything. I think I'm gonna harass that dude some more. If, see if I can convince him to tell me what's going on.
Don't be too cruel to him.
He kind of gives you like a look.
It's half sarcastic.
Not gonna hurt the man. Just gonna, sometimes you gotta be kind of in their face to be discreet. They don't expect you to be smart if you're stupid. He points to your arm. That's wise words of wisdom for your Uncle Rick.
It's always something or the other.
Hey, you can put that on my damn tombstone the day I die. The day you put me in the ground. They don't expect you to be smart if you're acting stupid. I don't know, what did I say again?
Acted stupid when he was smart.
Sure.
That's what I'll put on your tombstone. She looks
I think you
kinda
mean the other way
guilty.
around. Acting smart when I
She
am
looks kind
stupid.
of guilty and bites her lip a little because, you know, one of her friends has recently lost family members.
In any case, I'm gonna see if I can figure that out because strange. Y'all gotta be looking for that that kid Miles, right? Doing that tomorrow.
I bet.
He wanted to Booker say he wanted to try and rent a house for a couple.
I think it's a good idea.
I mean, it's not. It's definitely not a bad idea. I mean, only place I can really point you. Probably want to ask at the bank, especially. I mean, if they're not making any money, if they have to pay out their taxes, you know, land fees and all that out to Crown. The hell's the name of that bank? The
Do we know what he's talking about?
Yeah, you would at least vaguely the Venturi Bank, its main branches. There was another Venturi Bank in Starshore that you decided not to go to.
Walker decided not to go to it and instead went for the local Leon thing.
Yes, the local money lenders.
Yeah, the Venturi Bank.
So anyway, I mean, that might be a good start. I mean, other than that, maybe just schmooze out in the Warrens. It'll be skeevy as all get out. Maybe, just maybe, right? Chance, find something. No one questions the weird shit going on up there.
Though, try not to look like we're living off the street at least.
Hey, you wouldn't be, mostly, but like I said, nobody cares. You got a place if you're not sleeping on the street. Shit. Outside, out of mind, right?
I suppose.
According to them.
Anyway, on my way up here, I made a promise that I'd be in the next pool of drinkers. They're doing elimination rounds downstairs. Fastest ones to drink without, you know, spitting any of it up. Fastest 4 moving on to the final round.
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you. Hey, he gives like a thumbs up and quickly heads down.
I think he gets in more trouble than I do now. She looks kind of wistful, maybe. It was like half to herself.
Anyway, so with that, is there anything else you guys need to do for the evening before heading to bed?
Not tonight.
Make sure Evian doesn't, like, pass out under the table.
Did Walker show up again?
You were heading back?
No.
No?
It was a joke that didn't really work out.
Alright.
Walker is sitting in the sitting room of the inn portion to hand out the keys as people show up.
Okay. It's essentially like a very quiet, small room with a few vaguely nice benches. Like, they're hard benches that, while well-crafted, are still hard, uncomfortable benches that then had a couple of old pillows thrown on them. And then just a single, there's a single person there that deals with keys and check in and check out and all that. But all of the money, all the coin, all of that is dealt with at the bar in the front building. There's like a small alleyway you cut through and then you're in this.
Well,
One of the
Walker would
nicer
pay for the
alleys
inns up
of
front,
the city.
or for the night, for the rooms up front for the night. No
So,
doubling up. How much?
with that...
Hello, Ben?
What?
How much?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You were cutting out, or Discord was fucking again.
I thought he was gaslighting him, to be honest.
I was getting annoyed.
Yeah, no,
Same.
I swear to God, I checked on the recording last time this happened, and it was recorded fine, so I think it's Discord cutting out. It's either Discord or my speakers.
Anyway, price, please, Dad.
Price.
Christ price. 8
Oh, that's
rooms,
more.
one room for each of us. Okay quality.
That's gonna be
Walker's not made of
2 clips a night per person. That's assuming you're willing to double up.
I said no double up.
No double up. If you want your own room, it would be so essentially rooms are 4 clips a night each, and they come with 2 beds.
Oh, okay. I guess double up then.
There are no singles that are currently open.
The Walker is not. Walker would not be giving. Rooming with Evian at the moment.
Okay.
Just pay for 9 rooms and then have the odd one be Walker's bag.
Fucking tuck Walker's crossbow in.
You pay for 8 rooms and have the odd one be Walker's bag, and Evian doesn't get one.
Oh, I thought Rick would get one.
And then Evian gets arrested for being homeless.
The ultimate vengeance. Anyway, 8 rooms then, or not 8 rooms, fucking 4 rooms then.
So yeah, that's at 4 clips a person time 4 rooms.
2 clips a person.
2 clips, 4 clips a room.
4 clips a room times 4, 16, which I have.
16 clips. Food and drink is going
Walker
to total
is
you
gonna let
at,
the others get that one.
How much?
27 suns.
Them some hot wings.
Very hot.
Oh, well, the trick
let me
is
see if I
the
can
gold
help out
dust
here.
that's in the seasoning.
Oh, shit.
They do cook them to a golden brown. Now, total cost on that is going to be 1 cross, 1 clip.
I got 7 clips.
No.
You
me,
can get
I'll
the
do it.
rest. Nope.
Even throws clips at Rom.
Wait. Didn't he say it was 1 cross, 1 clip?
1 cross, 1 clip.
So you need 4 crosses or 4 clips.
Anyway, with your
is
money
that the-
taken care of,
Am I doing bad math right now? Am
No, you
I
just
smooth
need-
brain?
You just need 4 clips.
Okay,
That's
fine.
it.
7, you pay 4.
Yep.
Okay, cool. No, yeah, that I was doing bad math. Good job, Mitchell. Smart Mitchell. Stupid
No.
Alex.
So where does
11 minus 7 is 4. Mitchell, you're so smart.
where does everyone end up that evening?
That is the question. Walker, you are giving out keys, so you have control over who's taking what room.
I don't know, dude.
You weren't expecting that, but you did it yourself.
Well, he would have fucking given keys out like as they were needed as people got back, so it'd all be like timing based.
First one back would have been... Well, Simon is there immediately.
Yeah, so Walker would have given him one. Fuck, Simon was also involved with that shit, so he's
Dude,
not gonna be...
fucking put the traders in the same room. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck, Traders can go in the same room.
All right, so Evian and Simon.
Fucking Rom can have Amari, or
Rom doesn't get Rick?
Shit, I forgot about Rick.
Rom and Rick.
Yeah, Rom and Rick. Amari, I guess. Walker's bed with Amari.
And that leaves
And then in the other beds for the crossbow. No issue.
He's got to tuck in his crossbow at night.
So, do Walker and Amari do a thing where they sleep like head to foot? So, like, you know.
So it's not gay?
Exactly.
No.
It's gotta not be
No,
gay.
I think Walker spoons Amari.
It's not gay as long as they keep their socks on.
Yeah, socks on, balls can't touch, and you have to take no home afterwards.
I feel like Amari still wouldn't do it
children.
just because Walker smells so bad.
He's got prestidigitation, right? Easy.
Easy.
Yeah, easy.
Walker bathes. Just not recently.
Anyway, so,
Christ.
you guys eventually coalesce and you are rooming up, shacking up with your people.
Yeah,
of
we're
choice for the
shacking
night.
up.
I have a question, Ben.
Yes.
Stop.
Is there anything? So, neither Owen nor Ishri have ever been to this place. Is there anything interesting that they come across in their brief wanderings?
Are you asking me for random descriptions of things in the city?
I am,
Because we will be here for another 6 hours if you're asking for random descriptions
You
of things in the city.
Don't
I am, in
make the
fact,
noise.
humoring you for a short while.
Where are you going exactly? For the sake of everyone's sanity.
I'll die.
So there's presumably the dancing hound is on a street, right?
It is right on the main street in the Merchant's Landing, which is the main street right inside the city. Like as you're heading through a gate, that main wide street is Merchant's Landing. Is the Merchant's Landing main thoroughfare.
So going out the door, one direction is the one we came, and one direction is the one that we
left
did not
would be
come.
towards the gate and out. Right is west, further into the city.
We go right.
Immediately, you would see that after probably 5 minutes, in front of you is a large, imposing gate that you know as the... or I guess you wouldn't. Yeah, you know, it's a large... Oh, God, no, it's you two.
Yeah, no, we have no idea.
It's a huge, imposing gate
Hannah,
on
we're
top
tourists.
of a much thicker and more impressive wall. Like, this wall, while not taller, is much more efficiently guarded. It's lit up. There are lanterns hanging from the top of it. There are bowls of fire on top. You can see people patrolling with longbows and crossbows. There are maybe 15, 16 Antellier. There's a small Antellier outpost here. And at this point, the road has a main thoroughfare splitting left and right. Looking down to the right would take you in the direction of the Warrens. The cheap, the crappy, it's the shitty section of town is the Warrens. And then, yeah, the Warrens are to the right, going up north. And then to the south, you will be going towards, that would be the Gilded Plateau.
Well, that place sounds like shitty, snobby, rich people, so we go right.
Ishri can protect us.
All right.
Owen is capable. Thank you very much.
No, it's okay. She's got this.
Owen is very far from a soy boy. Thank you very much.
Owen's got a magic sword now. He can defend himself.
In the middle of this well-guarded city. Yes, good idea.
Mean,
good idea.
correct me if I'm wrong, but he has the second highest armor class in the party.
I believe so. We're gonna take one last quick break before we knock the rest of the session out. Anyway, sorry about that. Continuing, Owen and Ishri heading towards the Warrens.
Oh, that's correct.
How did you guys forget that in literally like 30 seconds?
You kind of like fucked up as if like you're like, bro, done.
Listen, that was not cool. Anyway, I should mute myself.
Anyway, Owen and Ishri headed to the Warren. It is here that much of the city is darker. As you get further and further into them, the Antellier presence gets smaller and smaller. There is a stockade here, but it is not as well armed. It is not as well guarded. It's not as large. It is less threatening. The streets are darker, and not all of the plinths are lit. Some have already burnt out for the night. The statues are not as impressive. The stonework is not as clean. There are portions that are, but especially looking down alleyways, they are here full of trash and people who are passed out drunk, all sorts of things.
They better be careful. They're going to get arrested.
That implies that the Antellier are brave enough to come out this way, which, from what you're seeing, this is, while not lawless, very close to.
For the record, Owen is pretty much completely at ease. He does not seem nervous. In fact, he was probably more nervous in the nicer part of the city with the big crowds than he is here.
Yeah, Ishri would say after maybe like a couple minutes, why are we not staying here? This is better.
Maybe tomorrow we can talk to Walker about finding a building in this part of the city to stay at.
It's a good idea.
Looking through, you can see the silhouette of the great walls of the city up against the night sky to the northeast. You can see the buildings pushed pretty much up against it, on top of each other. Just impressive in its hubris to believe that it could exist. This level of... I don't want to say incoherent. This level of almost a brazenness, of the brazenness to have this many buildings this tall, this close together. The fear that it would not take a lot to cause a, like... It is definitely a thing where if one building came down, it would bring down a lot more with how close these are. Many have staircases up to second, third, even fourth floors. You walk by a window open, you can hear a family, maybe 2 or 3, lots of people just laughing within. It's very strange, to say the least, to see something so familiar in a place so culturally different at the same time. But,
Oh, I'm sorry, what's familiar about it?
the familiarness of, like, just... It's much more like the rest of Leanor here.
Oh,
There's
I
that-
see. Rather
yeah,
than
that
the
sense of-
ostentatious nature of the
Yeah.
rest of Virona.
Yeah, Virona gives off a very specific vibe, and that is less strong here. You didn't go to where it gets real bad yet, buddy. There are very little in the way of businesses here. This is definitely not a large district, and before you know it, you have already left the Warrens and made your way to what's known as the Promised Borough, which is higher class. Not high class, but higher class. The buildings do not have yards or courtyards, as it were, but they're nicer. Some people have 2-story homes here. But more often than not, it is just quieter. Very quickly, the city gets lighter. A bit more, like, almost sanitized very quickly. Would you guys just continue to wander the city?
How, before I answer that question, how does Virona compare to a place like Nashtwin or even Virat?
Virat is essentially a military fortress that had a city built around it. So very much nothing like that, because that is lots of like scattered homes that just surround this big fortress. Nashtwin is... This is like a very... Like, if you took Nashtwin and like squeezed it really tight, there's always room to breathe, because in Garland, there was a lot more room when they were constructing things. It was just like, just keep going. Go further out. Multiple communities could just merge. Like, there was a lot of natural growth that happened very slowly over time as more and more people arrived. As opposed to here, where it was almost artificial and very quickly, based on how Leanor grew from its religious fervor and the fact that Virona, being the capital, almost forced its importance on every other place. If you need certain business licenses. If you're a mage and need a writ, if you need to trade something, you're probably gonna have to go to the capital. So it didn't have that same sense of community, because everything is overseen by the crown in Virona, whereas Nosh Dween, there's lots of, not everyone, especially not in the air quotes downtown-like areas, but something like Nosh Dween has a lot more room.
I see.
That makes sense?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. As soon as they get to the other side of the Warrens, Owen would kind of like, you know, his demeanor kind of goes back to one of general, almost discomfort, and he would look up at the sky and he would say to Ishri, we should probably circle back before it gets too late.
Sure. Yes, of course. Is there any chance you feel like we need to stay in the city? Is it a bad idea to leave and come back in the morning? If we're so uncomfortable in the city itself?
Owen considers for a moment. I'm not too keen on passing a son's chosen checkpoint every day, twice a day.
There were a lot of... We'd have to walk for quite some time before we actually left an area that wasn't populated by soldiers.
Aye.
It was an idea. As I think as the crowds thinned out, and as like especially as night kind of starts to hit, Ishri this entire time has kind of like kept her hood up and kind of her shoulders slumped, but she definitely like relaxes a bit more. Even as you get out of the Warrens, she's definitely a lot more relaxed whenever there's not a ton of people around. And she definitely like doesn't know how to navigate in the crowds, and she keeps like bumping into people and just not understanding what she's supposed to be doing with this amount of people.
I really like the mental imagery of this super buff Ishri having to trail behind the kind of slighter Owen through a crowd, even though usually it would be the other way around, right? Where the super buff person would just be like pushing their way through and the smaller person would be following
Poor
them.
Ishri.
And she's like trying not to push people. Like every time she like hits someone, she apologizes, and they probably don't give a fuck. Like it. Yeah.
Ishri's just a displaced Canadian communist.
An alien.
As you turn around, there are two things that you would note in the skyline of the Promised Borough. A massive fortress, one of the largest buildings you've seen in the city. Massive ramparts. It looks like it's very reminiscent of the castle in Virona, actually.
Is it like connected to the outer wall, or is it?
It is not. No.
Within the city.
No, it is within the city. It is actually close to the center, like closer to the inner wall that reaches the Basking campus.
And the inner wall, I assume, surrounds the Basking campus.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
You know what, Owen? Give me a perception check.
I'd love.
Does he see Miles hanging up? On, like,
Dude, is he in a fucking gibbet?
What are those? What are those? Is that the things where you have like your hands in the holes and your head in the hole?
No, that's a.
Oh, I thought you meant like hanging like from a noose.
Gee. It's not, Vince. It's not what I meant.
It's not just similar. It's like almost seeing double. Like, it's dark, but like the window placements, like where they open, are very similar. The walls, the height of the gates.
Wait a minute. Is this the part of the heist movie where one of the characters realizes he knows the schematics of the building? Is that the part that we just?
I think you're just seeing a second office, like an entire office.
No. He said Virona.
Yes.
Oh.
The castle in Virona.
I misheard.
Almost under his breath, Owen would say, that looks like Barat.
What's a Virat?
My home. Castle looks exactly the same.
Is it your home? Very far away? How is that possible?
I don't know. I know. Ben, what does Owen know about, like, the history of Barat? Like, obviously, Nick is assuming that it was probably built by the same people who built this place.
Nashdween, Arndween less so. Virat was originally it was the frontier settlement of Leanor when they began to expand south to continue their empire.
That's what I thought.
So, like, it is definitely not a far cry for a fortress in Virona to have a very similar schematic to one that was used elsewhere.
It's far away, but I don't know. I don't know what that means.
It's
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
it's not like, you know, the Shadowfell where I mean my hometown where things on one area dictate the architecture of things on another area. It's not like that, right?
I don't think so. Probably just built by the same people or planned by the same architect.
That does seem simpler.
Might help us.
What do you mean?
You, Ishri, I assume you spent a long time in that cave.
That one specifically? I don't know, maybe a year or so?
Well, perhaps that's a bad example then, but I grew up in Barat. I wouldn't say I know it like the back of my hand, but know it better than any other place I've ever been. And if it's the same, I might have some idea of what the inside looks like.
I understand. It's like the Citadel. Yes, I understand.
Several dumb questions just posed themselves to my mind, but I'm not going to ask it.
So, with that, yeah, we'll try it. With that, you guys eventually find your way back to the Dancing Hound. It is livelier than ever when you cut through to eventually get your rooms. You are informed by Rick that rooms have been taken care of. He lets you know as he is in the process of chugging beer upside down on a table.
Owen would not stop to talk to Rick unless
he would have like stopped, like,
okay.
like, oh yeah. Walker was taking care of the rooms in the back. I already got my key, all that, so, you know.
Thank you.
Or you can't. One drink.
Owen looks at Ishri and then just shakes his head.
Ishri.
I think maybe we should be going to bed. Yes.
Fair enough.
Or yeah, yes.
I'll be heading off soon. I got some stuff I gotta do. Weird questions. But, you know, not every day you get to party with a blade. Anyway, kind of turns around and starts talking to someone else, and just kind of chumming it up a bit. You guys head to the back. Walker hands you the keys, informs you that rooms have been taken care of, and you two will be sharing one. There are 2 beds.
As Owen takes his key, he makes eye contact with Walker, and he says, "Are you good?"
I'm fine. I'm always fine. And with that, Walker would stand, and then if they have bathrooms, Walker's gonna go take a fucking bath.
Okay, no problem. The last of the keys handed out. Walker, you bathe. The rest of you eventually find yourselves asleep. And as your first evening here in Virona comes to a close, with plans ahead and many things left to do in a very short amount of time, we will go ahead and end tonight's session.